Hello everyone, we're back with some more Stallone talk. This is of course Jeff 11 Bronson tonight with a live ranking in the same style as I did last year with my Charles Bronson ranking, where I did rank 50 Charles Bronson films in a live stream similar to this. Since it's pretty much Rocky month and we've watched all 6 Rocky films in watch party form, and I've been on the Stallone kick, since pretty much last month anyway. I've decided to pull out, I'm just going to pull out a few, just pull out a couple of Stallone films, do a live ranking. I do have my list, I'm professional, I made my list. Yeah, welcome to the Big 50. I don't own 50 Stallone films. Well, with some of the doubles I have, I might do, but there are a few that I watched just before this stream, just so I can include them, so I can have a top 50 list. Probably own about 47, 48. I added a few that I, again, don't have a physical copy of. So let's see what we got here. We got The Equalizer in tonight, Bob McCall. Hey, Bob, good evening. Thanks for joining us as always. I know Bob is curious about a few choices. He asked me yesterday on the Rocky 5 and Balboa watch party about a few. I wasn't really giving too much away, but tonight everything will be revealed. Yeah, I've been trying to rank these all day. It's so much harder than I thought. It is hard. It is hard. Well, the top 5, top 10 isn't hard, but once you get to like the 20s and 30s and stuff, that's when it's going to get hard. Anyway, I printed off a list of all of my picks. It's also got the IMDb scores on, so we'll be seeing what the masses think and what I think and stuff. Disclaimer: I did a top 10 Stallone video 4 years ago at this point. In that top 10, I made the rule for myself that I would only include one Rocky film, one Rambo film, pretty much one film per franchise. Obviously, now we're ranking 50, so the top 10 has changed now because now I'm including way more Rocky and Rambos within my top 10. So the top 10, obviously, as expected, is going to be pretty much Rocky and Rambo heavy, but we'll see. There will be some other gems in there. And speaking of massive Stallone fans, here's my fellow Rocky brother and Stallone fan, Jason, Backtrack Cinema. Hey, Jason, how's it going, buddy? Jason did his tier ranking of the Stallone films that he saw on his channel. Go check that out by all means. If I had the link, wait, I have my phone now. I'll drop the link in the chat. Check out Jason's video as well if you get the time after the stream. I will drop Jason's video. He did a cool tier ranking. If I can just get the link for it. Here we go. Copy link and go to my stream. Where's my stream? There it is. Wait, why can I not join my own stream? There we go. There we go. And here comes the link. So yeah, there's Jason's video. Check it out, guys. Again, after the stream, if you get the chance. So, well, if you get to just check it out, but don't leave my stream. Rocky and First Blood, number 1, number 2. Oh, we could be similar there. Well, if you know me, you probably know it will be, but yeah, no worries. Always great to share fellow ranking as well. And by all means, I'm not going to ask you guys to do top 50s, but if you can just drop in some of your favorites during this stream, that would be great to see some of your favorites as well. Obviously, join me on the discussion of some of these films. Are you including films where he just has a cameo? No, I will not do cameo films like Taxi Free. No Spy Kids 3D either, because I was 6 or 7 when I last saw that. Haven't seen it since, and I don't own it. There are a few films, like I said, that I watched before the stream, which I don't own, but I saw them on streaming on Amazon Prime and Netflix and stuff like that. I watched Expendables 4 for the first time the day before yesterday, and yesterday I watched the film Backtrace from 2018. Watched that for the first time. That was on Amazon Prime, just so I can include them. And there's a few films like Shade and what's the other one we got? Escape Plan 2, which I also don't own, but I have sadly seen it. So by all means, let's just jump into the top 50, starting with number 50, the bottom ranking ones. The bottom ranking one, of course, for many years I had Driven as my least favorite Sylvester Stallone film. Well, now that I've seen some other duds, my new least favorite and absolute worst Sylvester Stallone film he's ever appeared in is The Expendables 4. I absolutely. I mean, I knew going into this I was gonna hate it. I knew going into it. I knew about some of the story beats, and I'm just gonna spoil it for you all because I don't want anybody to subject themselves to this film. Within the first, like, what, 30 minutes or so, Barney Ross, the character that Stallone plays, supposedly dies, and he comes back by the end. Now, I don't mind Stallone's character dying in the film. I just wish they would have stuck to their guns because everybody could just smell from a mile away that he was going to come back by the end credits. And to top it off, who's going to lead the Expendables after the leader is dead? You would think it's going to be Jason Statham. No. Fucking Megan Fox is put in charge. This film did more than just irritate or annoy me. This film was more to me than just this. Like, this film for me is hate. I got angry while I watched this film. That's how much I hated it. So IMDb has it on a 4.8. I think that's massively too high. There's no way I'm going to give that film a 4. I gave it a 1 only because you can't give a half star on IMDb. So I gave it a 1. But guys, don't check out Expendables 4 if you haven't seen it. Just don't fucking watch it. Just take it from me. Anyway, before we go into 49, TV Nash Steven is here. Hey there, Jeff. Stallone went to the same high school as my dad, but they missed seeing each other by 2 years. Well, Stallone went to a few high schools, but yeah, that is definitely cool for sure. Bob McCall guessed it already. Oh, somebody's shooting off fireworks on my street. Yeah, Bob McCall guessed Expendables 4 is indeed last. Yes, it sucks. Evening. Oh, Gareth. I can't say I found you there. No worries, Gareth. Sure, we'll be here for a while, so maybe you can pop in later. Drop by later. Jason agrees with me. Expendables 4 is awful. It is, yes. Like I said, it's a travesty. I knew I was gonna not like it, but I did not know I was gonna absolutely borderline hate it the way that I do. So, seeing as I do have every Steven Seagal film in my collection, I wanted a complete collection. I do want a Stallone complete collection one day. So probably one day I will have to get a DVD or something of Expendables 4. But I'm not in a rush to ever have anything to do with that film again. And yeah. Professor Macabro, greetings and salutations. Yes, greetings, Professor. Stallone has gone nuts, as what Mike Barrett said. Well, he definitely. I don't know what he done with Expendables 4, but like Megan Fox's body, but she ain't leading shit in mercenary missions unless she's a demon monster from Jennifer's body. But then she would be a heavy leader. Yes, I mean, if there's any woman who deserved to be in that position of leading the Expendables, it would be like Cynthia Rothrock. Somebody of that stature, right? Fucking Megan Fox. I mean, I can't even say without. Yeah. The best thing for Expendables 4 is one of the stars, Eddie Hall. Yes, strongman Eddie Hall, British strongman. He is in the film for about 5 minutes. Well, not even. He's a small role, but I did spot him in there. Yeah, about 10 minutes from Savoy's house, from Dave's house. Cool. Yeah, Expendables 4. Anyway, number 49 is another one I recently watched. This one I just slightly like. Oh no, wait, it is. I like it slightly better than Expendables 4, but that's not saying much because number 49 is Escape Plan 2. Yeah, even Sly hated this one. I think this was shot in a few days. Pretty much a paycheck for everyone. Sly was way more positive about Escape Plan 3, which I haven't seen Escape Plan 3 because Escape Plan 2 put me off so much. But yeah, it sucks. It has Dave Bautista in it as well. IMDb has it at a 3.9, so at least it's lower rate than Expendables 4. But I would actually rate this one higher. Expendables 4, I give a 1 star, again, only because I can't give a half star or a 0 on IMDb. This one gets a 1 from me as well. It just save yourself the trouble of watching it, guys. Just don't. I'd even prefer Ronda Rousey from 3. Yes, Ronda Rousey, she's a legitimate badass. I love Ronda Rousey, and we're gonna get to Expendables 3, obviously, and well, we still got a way to go. But anyway, enough about these duds. Let's go to one that was a bit more decent, but again, very forgettable. At number 48, we got Backtrace from 2018. The film he did during his off time on Creed 2, I'm supposing. I'm guessing. Pretty generic sort of cop thriller where Stallone plays a cop. There's a criminal played by Matthew Modine, is that the actor's name? Private Joker from Full Metal Jacket. He's a heist man who has sort of memory loss, and he tries to remember what happened during a big heist that went wrong and where the money is hidden. Honestly, I watched it yesterday. I'm struggling to think of memorable moments, so it's a very, very forgettable film. At least one thing I will give this one, it was definitely miles above Expendables 4 or Escape Plan 2. 4, I love 2. 2 will come up very high, but no, it was miles above Expendables 4, so, and Escape Plan 2, it's, yeah. Yeah, I'm struggling to remember anything besides that I fucking hated it, but yeah, Escape Plan 2, it's, yeah. Professor McCarver, oh wow, I own this and remember jack shit about it. Exactly. Like I said, very, very forgettable. Now we are getting to something that we're still in the misses, the misfires area. At least this one has grown on me, like I said at the intro. This used to be my absolute worst Stallone film. This one has climbed at least above the other turds we just mentioned. Number 47, Driven. I watched this one last night right after wrapping up the Rocky 5 and Balboa live stream, the watch party. I popped this one in just to compare it to the other dots that I watched recently. Yeah, this one is miles above. I like this one way more now. Here we go. Now we go to where I own the physical copies of the film, Driven. I got it on DVD. Will I ever make the jump on this one, the Blu-ray? I don't know. I mean, there's some wonky CGI effects in this, and they look pretty noticeable on DVD. I'm imagining they look even worse on Blu-ray, so I think the DVD will just suit me fine for now. But yeah, Driven from 2001, directed by Rennie Harlin. It's hard to imagine that film is from the same director as Cliffhanger, but it is. It's Rennie Harlin. Let's see. IMDb has it on a 4.6. I give it a 4. I used to give it like a 2 or a 3. It's jumped up, like I said, especially after the dumpster fires we just discussed. So yeah. Got a few more comments. I like Megan Fox in Jennifer's, but yes, Jennifer's Body is a good Megan Fox film, but I'm just not the biggest Megan Fox fan overall. So, hey, Mike is there from Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection, another fantastic channel. Mike Barrett, Over the Top was the first Stallone film I watched. That was one of my early ones for sure, and I have a lot of nostalgia and a lot of love for that film. So, but to be continued on that film, let's put it that way. Driven feels like there are pieces missing to connect the story, which is very true. Actually, even though this is a DVD, this is stacked with bonus features. There's a big behind-the-scenes documentary and stuff, and audio commentary by Rennie Harlin. I was checking out some of it earlier. It was originally like a 4-hour film. They had to cut it massively. They had to cut big chunks of the film to release it theatrically. So there is more footage. Maybe if one day they do a version like Sly did with Rocky 4, if they do a recut, if they add scenes back in, maybe it will be better appreciated. It will become a better film. But for now, I will say it's still a dud. It's still a dud of a film, but I like it more now, especially considering I watched some terrible ones over the last few days. Yeah, this one was a breath of fresh air compared to those. So I have a massive soft spot for Driven. It's like an IMAX movie with Stallone in it. Yeah, I mean, I can see it definitely has scope and scale and stuff, but I don't know. For me, it just falls flat in a lot of areas. I actually haven't seen any of the first 4 in your ranking. I don't think I will bother. Yes, save yourself the trouble, especially Expendables 4. Like I said, that film just made me angry. I don't like being angry. I'm a nice guy. The GameCube Driven game has a level based around my home, which is weird. I never figured out why. Yes, they did do a tie-in video game for Driven, which came out on the PS2. Like Dave says, there's their GameCube, I think, for Xbox as well. I've never played it, but I've heard it's pretty bad, even worse than the film. So, Steven is saying, as a native Philadelphian, I got to go with Rocky as Stallone's best work. We're gonna get there. Jeff, if you've seen all the Stallone films, there's around 93 with more added regularly. Well, I definitely haven't seen all of it. I haven't seen The Party at Kitty at Studs. I haven't seen some of the ones he cameoed in, like we discussed earlier, like Taxi Free and even Spy Kids 3. Like I said, I've seen that one in the past, but not recently and don't own it. But there's still definitely a few out there I will have to check out. So anyway, what's next? We were now at number 47. We go to number 46. This is one I don't own as well. This is one where he doesn't have a main part in it, but he's substantial enough. This one is from 2014, I want to say. It is, yeah, it came, oh wait, when was the release date? I do have the release date put down for this one as well. Yeah, 2014. It's directed by John Hertzfeld. Reach Me. Where we go? Where's the poster? There's the poster, Reach Me, from 2014. If you're saying to yourself, what the fuck is Reach Me? Well, exactly. I've seen it once, like 5 years ago, whatever, on the streaming service. Don't remember much about it, besides the fact that I do prefer it over the other movies we just discussed. This one also has Kelsey Grammer in, and among others. It's about a self-help author who inspired the lives of a few people. Stallone is one of them in the film. Again, I'm misremembering maybe a bit, but it's okay. It's okay. Not a movie, but I hope to get Tulsa King of physical media. There is a Blu-ray out for season 1, so I'm hoping season 2 is going to get released soon, since that's now it's aired on Paramount Plus. I'm saying, what the fuck is Teach Me? Oh, Teach Me? Oh, Reach Me. Yeah, Reach Me. Okay. I've not seen Reach Me or even heard of it. Yes. It's directed by John Hertzfeld. Like I said, he's one of Stallone's buddies. He actually did that documentary on the making of the Rocky IV director's cut. He actually was the guy that was filming Sly throughout Lockout while he was editing Rocky IV again. And he actually directed Escape Plan, was it 2 or 3? I think he directed Escape Plan 3 as well. But he's a lifelong friend of Stallone, so I think Stallone did it as a favor to him, that film. Oh wow, I thought I'd seen all Stallone films, but I never heard of Reach Me. Yes. I don't own it, like I said. I do know we have a DVD of it in the Netherlands. I think we even have a Blu-ray. I might get it one day for the collection. Here's another one I don't own before we go to pretty much all the ones after the next one I do own. At number, I should really look at the number before I go. At number 45, we have a film from 2003. This was during Stallone's straight-to-video era, doing films like Avenging Angelo and Detox, which sadly went to straight-to-video. Well, sadly for Detox anyway, because that's a good one. But this is one, again, he's not the starring role in this one, but this is the film Shade from 2003, which is all about poker and all about card playing. And Stallone plays like this top dog poker player, and like there's this group of gamblers they go up against him. So it's pretty much a card playing film. For what it is, I think it was an okay film, but again, nothing special to write home about. Stallone's probably the best thing in it. I think you also have Gabriel Byrne in it. I did forget to mention the IMDb score for Driven. Oh yeah, I mentioned Driven. For Reach Me. Reach Me has a 4.9 on IMDb, which is pretty high for considering. I give it a 3. Shade has a 6.3 on IMDb, so that's the highest one we've mentioned so far. Yeah, 2003. It's a crime thriller directed by Damien Neiman. Yeah, I give it a 3. So it's worth a watch for Stallone fans, I will say. Anyway, now we go with the list. Now we've caught up with all the films I do own on physical media, on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K. Number 44, we have what is widely considered to be one of Stallone's worst films, or some even say it is Stallone's worst. And even Stallone himself has said this is the worst film he's ever done. Clearly, he has never seen the full cut of Expendables 4. But at number 44 is Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot. Yes, this is not the worst Stallone film. Clearly, it is up there, but it's not the worst. Of his comedies, you know, of the trifecta of comedies he done in the 80s and 90s, Rhinestone, Oscar, and this one. This is clearly my least favorite. But I actually do still have fun with this film. Not a film I rewatch often. You know, I'll probably watch this like 3 or 4 times in my lifetime, maybe 5 times tops. Whereas something like Rocky or Rambo or even Nighthawks, Cliffhanger, I watch those loads and loads of times. This one, not a most watched Stallone film for me, but again, it's not awful, you know, and it's bad, but it's a kind of a so bad it's good deal. Let's see. This one, what's the rating for this one on IMDb? IMDb has this one at a 4.4, and I give it a 4 myself. Directed by Roger Spottiswoode, came out 1992. Yes, action comedy. Stallone and Estelle Getty, I think you all know about this one, so no need to go into this any further or in depth. Let's see what some of you have to say about it. Top work for doing the research. This is awesome. My pen and paper rough list really seems lame now. Yeah, like I said, I actually printed a full sheet out, so yeah. I came prepared, as I usually do try to do. Stop or Mamo Shoot is probably the oddest film Stallone ever made. The oddest? Yeah, the oddest, but not the worst. Yeah, you could say that. Seeing that nightmare scene with Stallone wearing diapers, what little of my soul I had left. Yes, that is not Stallone's finest hour for sure, that scene, I'm sure. Even he will cringe if he were to ever see it again. Now, this is going to be pretty much a lengthy stream, so I'm going to have a few sips of water in between just to keep my mouth, fluent or whatever. Much needed. I recommend it. Always have some water with you when you do one of these. So yeah, I gave out the IMDb score. Let's move on to the next one. This is a very early. No, we are still in the straight-to-video period. I skipped one by accident. At number 43, we have Stallone's one of his bigger disappointments. That definitely one. A lot of fans will probably definitely have this in one of the last spots. Obviously, it's not high on my list. But at number 43, we have a straight-to-video film, Avenging Angelo, with Sylvester Stallone and Madeline Stowe. There we go. We got that on DVD. And this is also the last major movie role, the last movie role period for Hollywood legend Anthony Quinn. Anthony Quinn's final, there he is right there. Anthony Quinn's final role in the film was in a straight-to-video Stallone film. This was really Stallone's physique. Didn't really look great in this one. This is definitely Stallone's low point as an actor, as an action star. This is like a romantic comedy crime film because he's like a bodyguard to the daughter of a mafia boss, and it's weird. It's a better comedy, obviously, than Stop or Mom Will Shoot, as far as I'm concerned, but still, a lot of the jokes fall flat, so it's not one that I recommend for the general public, but for Stallone fans, it's definitely worth a watch. But not a great one by any means, I should say. Excuse me. This is directed by who's the director? Martin Burke. Yeah, it came out, is that correct? 2004? Wait. Got my list wrong now. Avenging Angelo. 2002, sorry, 2002. IMDb has that at 5.1, which I'm surprised. I give it a 5 myself, to be fair, but I'm surprised it's that high on IMDb. How many votes does it have? It says also how many people voted for it. 10,277 people voted for Avenging Angelo, gave their rating on IMDb, so still quite a few votes. I'm sure I've seen Avenging Angelo, but I have no memory of it. Yeah, it's forgettable. I had to watch it again pretty recently to refresh myself on it, but Stallone doing straight-to-video films feels like a bad and unfair joke. Yeah, you would expect that from Van Damme and Seagal and stuff, but but Stallone did went straight-to-video for a period. There was a period in the early 2000s where he was not getting any work, believe it or not, so he had to do stuff like this. He was not getting any major film roles, so that's why, of course, Rocky Balboa and Rambo 4 were such a big comeback, one of the greatest comebacks ever. But yeah, that's Avenging Angelo. Next film, we have a very early Stallone film. This is pre-Rocky. This is 1975. Has a 5.7 IMDb. Let's just get to it. At number 42, we have the film Capone, directed by Steve Carver, who you might recognize his name from films like Lone Wolf McQuade with Chuck Norris. He directed that film. I think he also did another truck film. I'm blanking on the title. I think it's Eye for an Eye. I think he also directed that one with Chuck Norris. Capone, 1975. Here we go. We have the DVD for it. There is Stallone right there, a pre-Rocky Stallone. Ben Gazzara stars as Al Capone. Obviously, it's based on the true story of Al Capone. Even though the film does take some liberties, there are some things it gets wrong. It also has Susan Blakely in it, who also co-starred in Lords of Flatbush with Sly, and also in she was also in Over the Top with Sly as well. Capone has a 5.7 on IMDb. Like I said, I give it a 6. It's solid. It's a solid gangster crime drama. It's a Roger Corman film, by the way, as well. I forgot to mention Roger Corman production. Also has Harry Guardino in it from Dirty Harry, and a few other Clint Eastwood films. It's a solid film. I do recommend Capone for some of you that might not have seen it yet. It's a decent film, and again, Sly now doing great work as a gangster in Tulsa King, and obviously he also showed shades of it in Get Carter. But way before Rocky, he was playing a gangster. He played Frank Nitti and Capone. So Nicholas Woodall is here. Hey Nicholas, he's saying he likes Avenging Angelo. Yeah, I'm sure the film has its fans for sure. Like I said, I like it. Not as much as like 40 other films we're gonna still talk about, but it was marketed wrong. This is regarding Avenging Angelo. It's a full-out romantic comedy. Yes, there is not a lot of action in it, but yeah, it is something. We're gonna get there. Not to get too far, but we are gonna get to Oscar. Don't worry, Nicholas. It's gonna get mentioned. Madeline Stowe and Anthony Quinn also worked together in Revenge with Kevin Costner. Yes, that's a really good, underrated Kevin Costner film. I do like that film. Hollywood spat him out, and he made a huge comeback. He definitely did. A shame that I didn't know about Capone. Yeah, I don't think it has a wide release. I was surprised when I saw this in the shop here in the Netherlands, this DVD, because it's a Dutch DVD. I was like, whoa, I never heard of this film when I picked it up, 10 years ago? And again, this one I watched the day before yesterday again, because since like 10 years ago, I actually had never rewatched it. So a few days ago was the second time watch for me. But I really like it. Like I said, it's a solid film. For 1975, there was a lot of nudity in it as well. So if you guys are into that, definitely check it out. Susan Blakely has like a full open crotch shot. It's sort of a predecessor to Basic Instinct in that way. It's a good film. It's a good little gangster film. Yeah, Stallone as Frank Nitti was an interesting casting choice, and he was tougher looking than the real Nitti. He definitely had already a great commanding screen presence there, and like I said, it's a year before Rocky, so yeah, he was on his way up there at this point. I still maintain Get Carter and Tulsa King are great companion pieces. We're gonna get to Get Carter. I do like Get Carter, so yeah, but I agree there. He has the same look pretty much, right? Anyway, where are we? We were now at number 42. 42 is Capone. 41 is another early film, pre-Rocky. This one from 1974. This is a year earlier. Starring Stallone, Henry Winkler. This is The Lords of Flatbush, which has a 5.6 on IMDb. So 1974. It's a comedy, drama, romance, is what it says here. And it has a 5.6 IMDb. My score is a 6. It's a good sort of coming of age film, but I don't know. I guess I've had bigger expectations for the film because it was sort of hyped up as like Stallone's best film pre-Rocky. I don't know. The first time I watched it, I was slightly disappointed, but I liked it much better on the rewatches. I do appreciate it more now. But it's not a film I've always had a big love affair with, let's put it that way. But anyway, here we go. We do have a physical copy of it. This is the Blu-ray from 101 Films in the UK. They put this out. This is the film that the executives at MGM watched. So they, which helped in their decision to ultimately cast Stallone as Rocky. So this film was sort of the prototype for Rocky, even in the way he's dressed in the leather jacket and stuff. It's that's a good film. Quentin Tarantino really likes it. I know Tarantino is a big fan of it. If you've seen the Sly documentary on Netflix, which came out last year. Tarantino's one of the speakers in that documentary. Tarantino raves about the film, but I don't share the same enthusiasm as QT, sadly. But it is the Fonz and Stallone, yes, indeed, it is. One of the earlier choices for one of the roles was Richard Gere. Richard Gere was supposed to be in this film as well. He actually was on set, but Stallone and Richard Gere had a big clash. They had a big fight, like physical. So Richard Gere ultimately was dropped from the project, but this would have also had Richard Gere in it. So, yeah. 74 was the year I was born. Mad, he's making films, and yes, he started back, as early as 1970. That's when his first film came out, which again is the film we will not discuss, and Sly doesn't want us to discuss it, so let's leave it at that. But let's see what we got next. Yes, another early pre-Rocky film. This is one that it has a cult following. People really like it. It's another Roger Corman film. 1975, I'm guessing again. Yeah, it is 75. Action, comedy, sci-fi, sports. At number 40, we have Death Race 2000 with David Carradine and Sylvester Stallone as Machine Gun Joe. I forget his last name, for Turbo or something like that. This one has a 6.2 on IMDb. And I give it, again, a 6. We're still at the point where I give these films like mid-level ratings. Yeah, Death Race 2000. I really have to upgrade this one to Blu-ray. I still have my old DVD for this one as well, Death Race 2000. But this is a fun, campy film, over the top a little bit. Post-apocalyptic film. Like you have this death race sport going on, where the more pedestrians you kill during the race, the more points you get. It's very wacky, over the top, but I freaking love it. Absolutely love it. Here's Sly in the back. There's Machine Gun Joe. There's a great scene here, which is like sort of a predecessor to Rambo First Blood Part 2, where Stallone has a Tommy gun and he goes, "Aah!" Sort of Rambo style. It's like the imagery is a bit foreshadowing for Rambo, I guess. Death Race 2000 is great. Stallone made a great heavy in it. Yes, he did. And I do like David Carradine as well, so it's always great to see him. So, yes, that's definitely a film I'm a fan of, but obviously not as much so that it's higher ranking. There's still films that take over it. And we kicked this list off with the worst Expendables film, Expendables 4 at number 50. We've now entered we've reached the 40 mark. So at number 39, we have a film from 2014, which for a long time was the worst Expendables film until Expendables 4. At number 39, we have Expendables 3 from, again, 2014. The IMDb rating for this one is a 6.1. Again, I give it a 6 myself, especially considering taking my Expendables 4. This one isn't all that bad. There's a lot of good stuff in this that I like. I do like Antonio Banderas. Is he a bit annoying? Yes, he's supposed to be that way, but I still do like Antonio Banderas, which was another bit in Expendables 4, which I hated. They brought in Gal Gadot's son in Expendables 4. I'm like, really? You guys were too cheap to get Antonio Banderas back? You got this kid who's just doing a lame impression of Antonio Banderas? Like, fuck off. I liked Ronda Rousey. Didn't care too much about the rest of the New Blood, but Ronda Rousey I liked. They sort of did sideline the OG team, Dolph Lundgren, those guys, but they did, bring them back for the finale in that film. It has its good point, it has its bad points. The good outweigh the bad for me personally. I do like it. Expendables 4 makes this one look like the Godfather. That's what Expendables 4 did for this film. Expendables 4 made this a way better film, in my opinion. Does it have issues? Yes. The PG-13 rating. There's no blood during the kills, nothing. But I do like this lenticular cover. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Stallone's kind of moving there in the foreground, along with the other guys. You have Arnie doing "Get to the Chopper." This one, there's some cool throwbacks. Overall, I like Expendables 3. Don't love it, but I like it. Let's go to 38. This is another one of Stallone's later films from the recent sort of years. Recent 10 to 15 years, I would say. When did this come out? Let me cheat. Yeah, this came out in 2012. This is a Walter Hill film. Like, I think everybody's screaming the title right now, so let's just pull it up. Number 38, we got Bullet to the Head by Walter Hill, again with Sylvester Stallone, which is not a bad film by any means. I really, really like it, this one. Also has Jason Momoa in it. Christian Slater as well. This has a 5.7 IMDb. It's a little too low for me. I think this one should be a 6 instead of Expendables 3, which is the rating I do give this one. I'll probably give this one a 6.5. This is where they get better. I give this one a 6.5 out of 10. This one myself. So Bullet to the Head. I like this one. Here's my Blu-ray of it. Look at Stallone was still in great shape in this film. He's like 60, 65 or whatever in this film. He looks great. This Blu-ray also included, which I thought was funny, this movie also included Copland as a free bonus film, which was not a bad deal back then, but we're going to get to Copland. But yeah, Bullet to the Head. I like it. It has some cool special features on this Blu-ray, so it's a film I do enjoy. Pretty good action film. Stephen Nash says agree. That's probably on Death Race. Yeah, probably on Death Race. Mel Gibson was the best part of Expendables 3. He was a great villain for sure. Where's my water? There it is. Which action star would you like to see in an Expendables film? Jeff Speakman is always someone I'd love to see. Well, right now I wish just there would be no more Expendables film. I really don't want to see any more. Not after the fiasco that was Expendables 4. But yeah, Jeff Speakman. I've always been an advocate for Cynthia Rothrock. So Cynthia Rothrock is the one I would really want to see in an Expendables film if there ever were to be another one. Which I'm really hoping. Expendables 4 was a big of enough flop that they will never touch that series again. But you never know. What's up next? I think I need glasses. I can't fucking read this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, number 37, we go back to Sly's straight-to-video era in the early 2000s. This is a really underrated film. I wish this could have been higher, but there are some films after this I just like a little bit more. At number 37, we have Detox, aka ICU, from, this is also 2002. It is 2002. This one has a 5.3 on IMDb, which again is too low in my opinion. I'd give this one a 6.5 as well. Good little thriller, really reminiscent of John Carpenter's The Thing, where they're trapped in an isolated, snowy location. A lot of paranoia. Great cast in this one. Where's my DVD? I have to get this on Blu-ray for sure. There's my DVD of it. This one has Robert Patrick in it, the T-1000 himself. Tom Berenger, Sean Patrick Flannery, Robert Prosky from Last Action Hero. He's in this. Jeffrey Wright, Chris Christopherson, great cast in this one. I definitely recommend this one. This is definitely a under the radar, very underrated Sylvester Stallone film. Sadly, this one did come out straight to DVD because it sat on the shelf for 2 years before Universal, who owned the film, decided to just put it on straight to DVD. Sort of a troubled production on that one, but I do like it, so I definitely recommend Detox, aka ICU, depending on where you live in the world. Hey, Midnight Woodsman. Good to see you here. They made an all-female Expendables sci film with Cynthia Rothrock. So yes, Mercenaries. I have seen that with Vivica Fox and Brigitte Nielsen, but I'm talking about the real deal. Let's make a real Expendables with her in it. Am I too late to hear you rank his porn film near above? No, that's the film we will not be discussing. And I've not seen it, nor will I ever see it. I said it before, I'll say it again. There's a few things in life that I can do without seeing, and Sly's Italian Sausage is just one of them. Sorry. Just a few things that I don't want to get scarred by seeing that. You don't want to see your heroes, like that. You don't. I will never watch that. Detox is great, not the usual Sly film. I agree. It's something different from. I think it's the closest he came to doing like a horror film, I guess. Although Cobra, you could consider Cobra a bit of a slasher as well. But Detox really has a big horror vibe going on with the paranoia and pretty much feeling a lot like John Carpenter's The Thing. So yeah, Detox is great. It was directed by the same person who directed the one which you did last summer, which is good with me. Yes, what's the guy's name? I do get him written down. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Detox, detox. Oh, there's detox. It's under ICU. That's why. Okay. Jim. Oh, I can't pronounce his last name. There's too many syllables in that for me. Okay, you guys are gonna probably like the next pick though. At number 36, I think that's where we're at. Yes, we are at number 36. We have a film from Stallone's 90s era. We're going into the 90s again now. This is one that he teamed up with another great star of that decade in particular. Great star in general, but especially in that decade. Directed by Richard Donner. This is 1995's Assassins, which I love this one. Let's be honest. Antonio Banderas steals the show in this one. Robert Raff. I want to be number one. I love Assassins. It has a 6.3 on IMDb. Again, I give it a 6.5, 6.5 myself. Underrated, really good cat and mouse thriller. Like I said, directed by Richard Donner, who of course is famous for the Lethal Weapon films, The Goonies, Superman. Just go on and on. He did so many great films. Maverick with Mel Gibson. Conspiracy Theory around this time. This is a flawed film. It's not a perfect action thriller, but it is a really, really solid thriller for me. Great cat and mouse thriller. I think it does sort of overstay its welcome a bit. I think it's a little bit too long. I feel like they could have cut like 10, 15 minutes from this film for pacing. It's not a well-paced film. I can get why it's a slow burn for a lot of people, but I still do like it. Julianne Moore, she's okay in this one. She's not one of my favorites, but I do like her in this one, as well as of course The Big Lebowski and other films. But Antonio Banderas, man, he carries this film. He steals the show all the way for me. I like him. I like it. So yeah. Could never get into Assassins. Yes, Jason, I knew you have ranked it a bit lower in your tier ranking, so I think you ranked it under or below average, if I got that right. But yeah, it's not everybody gets on with it, but I've always had a bit of a soft spot for it. It was one of the earliest films that I do remember seeing on TV. I always remembered that bit with Antonio Banderas sitting there in the church with a sniper rifle, sweat coming down his face. That image always stuck with me ever since I was a kid and I saw it on TV. So it's memorable. It's always been memorable for me. Yeah, Assassin is a good time, is what Midnight Woodsman says. Assassin is great. I really wanted Banderas to channel his character from that in the Expendables 3. Yes, that would have been better than what we had. And like I said, I even liked him in Expendables 3. So, wasn't Assassins meant to be directed by George Romero, or have I just imagined it? I do not know about that. I might have done a bit of research and stuff, and I came prepared list-wise and stuff, but I did not dig into trivia for every film. So, I do not know that. You would have to look that up. But yeah. Assassin is good, especially the graveyard scene. Yes, that was a pretty kick-ass scene. Yeah. That's some good scenes for sure. Because I think it's just the pacing that's the main issue for it. It's a tad too long. It overstays its welcome a bit. We will get there. We will get there. We will get there. This is a ranking, Nicholas. We will get there. We haven't mentioned it yet, so obviously I'm gonna like it more than all the titles we just mentioned. Sly and Banderas sound like a cool team. Yes, it is a pretty cool, like I said, cat and mouse thriller between the two of them. Shit, the comments jumped. Hey, Anthony Mendoza's here. Anthony, how's it going? The Specialist I love. Yeah, we are going to get to the Specialist in a bit. I didn't like Sylvester Stallone Spike is Free Game Over. Yes, it's not a great film. Like I said, it's been years since I watched it myself. Like I was like 6 or 7 or 8, whatever. But yeah, it's one of Stallone's lesser ones. The Specialist is underrated. Spoilers. Anyway, let's move on. This was number, what did we say, 36? Yeah. Let's go to number 35. This is another underrated film for me from the early 80s. Where is it? There it is. 1981. This is a sports drama and World War II film. directed by John Huston with a pretty great cast. This is Escape to Victory, aka Victory. We've got the Escape to Victory title there on the poster there, but it's also known as Victory. 1981. This one has a what's the rating? A 6.6 on IMDb, which is not bad. It's not bad. I myself give it a 6.5 once again. I have to go with a 6.5 again. But yeah, Michael Caine in this one. This is a soccer film or football, depending again on which territory you're in. I know the British call it football and the Americans call it soccer. World War II film. The Allies have to play against the Germans. Stallone is the goalkeeper. There are some interesting trivia about that film. Like Stallone as the goalkeeper, he wanted to be the one to score the winning goal in the film, but somebody had to explain him that's not what a goalkeeper does. So there are some interesting bits about that film. Again, I have the DVD of it. It's known as Victory here in my country as well. Michael Caine is great in it. I don't know. It's just a fun time. I know Gareth Video Tasty is a big fan of it. I'm hoping he's going to like where I placed it. He probably will complain and say I should have placed it higher, but there are just some films I like a little bit more over this. But Escape to Victory or Victory is a really good film. Great Bill Conti score. Again, Bill Conti did the Rocky films. It's a good time. I recommend it. They should use football matches as softball wars. Yeah. Oh, Max von Sydow, by the way. Max von Sydow is in this as well. Of course, he will reunite with Sly for Judge Dredd, which we haven't mentioned yet, so that's good for that film. Escape to Victory is really good fun. My sister's favorite footballer, Bobby Moore. Yeah, Bobby Moore. There's a lot of famous football or again soccer players in this one. Like I said, Pelé. Not all of them are mentioned here, not all of them are mentioned, but trust me, there's a lot in there. Oh, skip one again. This one, Escape to Victory, is underseen. Yes, it is underrated, definitely. Steven is saying I saw Victory on ESPN one time, and it was one of the first times I saw soccer being played. Stallone and Michael Caine together is interesting, yes. And again, they would reunite again for another film, which is another we haven't mentioned, so good on that film. I see. This is it's 4-1 to Germany, but we scored a goal. Yeah. We scored a goal. I remember that scene, yeah, in the halftime. Great football legend, Escape to Victory. Yeah, absolutely. And not a bad film. You know, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, whoa, this is pretty good. Why have I never heard of it? But it's good. It's really good. Anyway, that's number 45. We're not done with escaping yet. We have mentioned Escape Plan 2 earlier. At number 44 from 2013, the first film to fully have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone share the screen. This is Escape Plan at number 44, the original Escape Plan. Directed by, I'm probably going to butcher this, Michael Halfstrom. I'm guessing that's like Swedish or Norwegian, I'm guessing. Action thriller 2013, has a 6.7 IMDb, and I give it a 7 myself. This is where we start to give higher scores to these films. I really like this film. It's not great, it's not a GOAT, it's not the greatest of all time film, but I like it. I really have fun with this one, and especially, you know, just having Stallone and Arnold together. You eat like a vegetarian. I don't know, there's just so much to enjoy in this film. It's more of a thriller than an action film. It's not an all-out action film. It's more of a thriller. But I do really have fun with this. I've always liked this one ever since I first saw it back in 2014. So let's see what you guys had to say about this one. Oh wait, before we do that. Fun fact, I posted a picture on Facebook recommending Victory, and my account got suspended because of that questionable flag in the background. Yes. Facebook tends to do that. Yeah, it sucks, but yeah. I came late to the stream. Have you mentioned Death Race 2000? Yes, I did. That was at number... Where was Death Race 2000? Death Race 2000 was number 40. Again, we're doing a top 50, so there's 10 films I consider worse than Death Race 2000. But to be honest, like, we start off with Expendables 4, Escape Plan 2, Backtrace. I would say from number 47 on, from Driven on, I pretty much like all these films. There's no hate or anything involved with these films, but yeah, we have mentioned that phrase 2000. Yes. Before Sylvester Stallone turned 13, he got expelled from 14 schools for antisocial and violent behavior. Yes, this is very true. I think it was 12 schools. I think he mentioned 12, but yeah, could have been 13. When Stallone was 15, he was voted most likely to end up in an electric chair by his classmates. He was a very misbehaving kid in school. He didn't have great attention span. But anyway, yeah, Escape Plan, Stallone Schwarzenegger, great film. I like it. I recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's definitely 10 times better than Escape Plan 2 and 3. That's one thing that everybody will agree on. So, yeah, I give it a 7. Has a 6 point whatever on IMDb. What did we say? Escape Plan. A 6.7 on IMDb. I give it a 7 myself. Now, next, at number 33. This is one that Bob McCall was inquiring about yesterday. He was wondering where this was placed. I used to hate this film from 1977, 78. The first film that Sylvester Stallone directed before Rocky 2. This was a box office bomb. Not many people like this one. Like I said, I hated it when I first watched it, but I've watched it a few times since, and I actually really, really like this one. I was really grown on me. At number 33, it's Paradise Alley, and I do like the look of Stallone there with the sort of flat cap, the leather jacket there again, reminiscent a bit of Rocky. The cigarette there in the mouth. I always like that image of Sly. Paradise Alley. It's about wrestling. It's about 3 brothers. You got Armand Asante in there. Can't remember who played the other brother, Victor, the one that actually does the wrestling, because Stallone doesn't do the wrestling in this film. We got the German DVD for it. Have to upgrade this to Blu-ray. I do know that. I think Shout Select put it out, or some company. No, it's a good film. Again, score by Bill Conti. Main theme song by Sylvester Stallone, which will put people off for sure, because Stallone sings the opening title song, "Too close to paradise, and too close to hell." If you think I'm singing that, you're probably gonna rip Sly a new one if you hear it. But I like the song. You know, I like Sly sing. I don't mind Sly sing. Frank is better at singing, that's for sure. But I don't mind Sly singing. I will be the first to admit it. He's not a great singer. He's never going to have a number 1 charting song or album or whatever. But I like his voice when he sings. So sue me. Paradise Alley has a 5.7 IMDb, which, considering some of the lower scores that other Stallone films have, it's not too bad. But it's a little too low for me. I give it a 6 myself. Again, this Paradise Alley gets a 6 from me. Not bad at all. I really need to rewatch Paradise Alley. Yeah, you might like it more. Like I said, it's had that effect on me. I really hated it when I first watched it. I didn't get it at all. I was like, what's going on here? I didn't get the characters and didn't really see what Sly was going for. But obviously, I'm growing older, hopefully a bit more wiser, and I now see a little bit more of what Sly was intending to do with that film. So yeah, that could easily be a picture of him from Rocky 1 or 2. You're correct there. If Rocky didn't wear this beautiful fedora and he wore a flat cap like that, that could have easily been the case. I can easily picture Stallone as a pro wrestler, one of his lesser talked about efforts. Again, he didn't do the wrestling in that film, but can you imagine Sly as a wrestler? That would be pretty cool. But yeah. Have you seen the Frank Stallone film Fear? I have not. I have not seen that, no. I haven't seen too many Frank Stallone films, to be honest. Like, other than the ones that he's in, obviously, with Sly himself. I've seen Barfly with Mickey Rourke and Faye Dunaway. Frank Stallone is in that film. Other than that, I haven't seen too many Frank Stallone films myself. But will be something I'll probably have to get a few more of his films. But oh yes, I wonder where this was coming. Paradise Alley, love this film. What's that word? Huskiliani? There you go. Some English words I don't fucking know, but whatever it says there, stuff is amazing. Stallone turned down the role in Face Off, which ultimately went to John Travolta. I think he did turn that down. Yes, you could be correct there. Again, we're not here talking about Phase Out, but you are correct. But no, Paradise Alley. I like it. This next film, everybody hates this one as well. Especially, I've noticed a lot of British people because it's a remake of a very popular British film. At number 32, we have Get Carter from 2001, 2002. I want to say. 2000. Wow, I was way off. 2000, the year 2000. Directed by Stephen Kay. This one has a 5.2. Now that's way too low for Get Carter. I like this film. I've always liked this one. This was one of the earlier Stallone films I saw back as a kid. I've always had a big soft spot for this one. I gave it a 7 myself. Get Carter is awesome, and especially that look there with the silk suit, the goatee, the glasses. Stallone has a fantastic look in Get Carter. I get it, it's a remake. I get that people are sentimental about the original. Actually, I have never seen the Michael Caine version. I really have to check. I've been saying to myself I have to check it. I've had the Blu-ray in my sort of wish list on Amazon for years, and I still haven't pulled the trigger on it. I really have to get it. But Get Carter with Stallone, I like it. Again, it could be because I haven't seen the original. So, it's the same with Judge Dredd. Like, people hate Judge Dredd, but I've never read a Judge Dredd comic, so I like the Judge Dredd film. It's one of those things, but I like Get Carter. I like the film. I know that many people don't. I was going to say, because I thought it was a very fancy English word that I don't, my little IQ doesn't know. But okay, his early stuff, that makes more sense. Michael Caine from the original is in this version. Yes, Michael Caine is in. Here's my cool German Blu-ray. Look at that great cover art. Actually, it's reversible cover art. If you do flip it around, you do get that original sort of poster shot right there. But yeah, Get Carter from the year 2000. I like it. Maybe many of them punches landed on Stallone's face in the Rocky films. Too many. Well, they definitely did in Rocky Balboa, as we discussed yesterday. Those punches were real. They definitely did in Rocky 6. Stallone turned down the leading role in Arthur, 1981, which ultimately went to Dudley Moore. I have never heard of that film, to be honest, but that is interesting. I like Stallone's Get Carter, but after seeing the original Get Carter, yeah, the OG is better. Maybe I'll say that as well once I see it, but I still haven't seen it myself. I love Get Carter 2000. Still have the standee in my bedroom. This will be in my top 15 at least. Look, there's at least some big fan for it. Like I said, I like it, so always had a big soft spot for it. The original Get Carter is amazing. Yes, I really do have to check that film out. OG Get Carter is great. Remake, not so much. Yeah. Again, maybe I'll say that as well once I see it. The German Get Carter Blu-ray is cool. Yes, it was. I picked it up last year. I was really, as the Brits say, chuffed to bits when I picked this up. Yeah. It's a great cover. Yeah, it is awesome. It is awesome. Hey, Jim is here. Jim's Movie Channel. Happy holidays, Jeff. Happy holidays to you as well, Jim. It's coming up, isn't it? To all in the chat, I'm late. I'm going to check out the replay, but I'm assuming Rhinestone was dead last in the ranking. No. I love Rhinestone. I'll give you what was last in the ranking. That was Expendables 4. What a piece of shit. So, yeah, that was my bottom ranking one. Both Get Carters have their distinctive charm. Again, you know what? I'm just going to fucking order it on Amazon right now. I'm going to order the original Get Carter. I really have to check it out. I've been putting it off too long. Where's my wish list? There it is. It is the UK Blu-ray. I'm going to order this. I really have to check this film out now. There we go. It's plays in cart and in the cart, yeah. You love Rhinestone? Yes, I do. We still have a bit to go before we get there, but yes. I've always loved Rhinestone. No, I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy. Remake 2000 Get Carter feels like a straight-to-video film. It was in that era where Stallone was doing a bit lesser, yeah. I can't wait to see where Rhinestone falls. I like that one. Ah, good. I always have Professor Macabre have my back on that one then. Drinkenstein, yes. Cool song. But wiser you created a monster. Yes, I love that song. Wait, skip this comment. The 70s remake of Get Carter called Hitman is really good. Was there a 70s remake? I was not aware of that, but yeah. Yes, it is. It has been placed in my Amazon basket. So I'm gonna get it. Just so I understand, you love Rhinestone and hate Blazing Saddles. Yes, Rhinestone is way better comedy for me. They must have wonderful drugs where you live. Well, I'm sure they do, but I'm anti-drug. That's okay, Jim. My local cinema had a poster for Get Carter 2000, but never showed it. Ah, that's a shame. Anyway, we spent too much on Get Carter now. Let's move on to the next placement, which is Get Carter was number 32. Let's go to number 31. This is a film that, again, has a bit of a love-hate thing for a lot of people. People either love it or hate it. 1994, big action blockbuster summer film. Sylvester Stallone teaming up with Sharon Stone and James Woods in The Specialist. Yeah, you know what? This film gets a lot of shit as well, but any film that has a naked Sharon Stone is alright in my book, alright? I'm just saying. Yes, you do have something for the ladies to enjoy as well in this one. Obviously, Sly gets to show his body off in this as well. But I like this one. Set in Miami. It has a little Scarface feel to it because I always love films in Miami ever since Scarface. Stallone plays Ray Quick, another cool character name for Stallone, Ray Quick. A bomb expert, explosive expert, as Rod Steiger says in the film, because Rod Steiger is doing a very poor Tony Montana impression in it. You got this explosive expert to me, and you bring it to me, okay? I do like Rod Steiger's over the top sort of Cuban accent. It's just fun. I have a lot of fun with this one. Great John Barry score in this one, very reminiscent of A View to a Kill and stuff, and like the later John Barry James Bond scores. I don't know, I freaking love The Specialist, man. This is one of my personal favorites. Well, obviously we are getting very high now on the list, so this is one that I really love. I give it a 7 myself. IMDb has it at a 5.6, which is way too low for me. I know that people don't get on with it as well, but yeah, like I said, any film that has a naked Sharon Stone is okay in my book. Yeah, I know, Jim. I know. It's okay, buddy. Yeah, James Woods. Oh, I freaking love James Woods in this, man. He overacts so much. He pretty much steals the film. Like Stallone had a lot of his scenes cut because he felt like James Woods was overacting or outacting Stallone. I was like, yeah, he is outacting you. You get fucking James Woods to play the villain. You expect him to not outact you? Come on. Of course he's gonna do that. It's fucking James Woods. But yeah, he's amazing. I love James Woods in that film. The only thing I remember about The Specialist is the scene of Sharon Stallone in the sauna and try to decide which one looked more oiled up. Yes, the shower scene. Oh, you see so much in that scene. You're gonna have to get a copy yourself, guys, if you want to see the. But yeah, it's worth the price of admission. Yeah, I love The Specialist. The director is Luis Elosa. Hope probably butchered that. Yeah, and it's one that, again, Stallone fans usually tend to like it, but if you have just your casual sort of action fan, they pretty much dismiss it. It's the general audiences pretty much don't like it. It was a bit of a hit in the 90s. It made money, but you know. Steamy action film with great action. There's some great bombing, some great special effects, some great explosions. Yeah. Sly Stallone versus Rod Steiger. That's a good time. Yes, and we are gonna get Rod Steiger in another film soon because he was also in a pretty early Stallone film from the 70s. Woods being a sleazy self. Yes, James Woods is amazing. Yeah, he steals it. Shower scene. Could have done without Stallone's ass, but again, it's something for the ladies, right? You got to throw something in there for the ladies as well. Equal opportunity. Um, get both target audiences. Give them what they want. The women want Stallone naked. We want to see Sharon Stone naked. It's that simple. Um, anyway, yeah, that was the Specialist at number 31. Let's get to number 30. This was one that Nicholas asked about earlier. This is from 1991. This is when Sly was in a down period with Rocky V, being a bit of not a flop, but a box office disappointment. And he followed up with one of his comedies. This is 1991's Oscar, directed by John Landis, and also starring, what else is in this? You got Chaz Palminteri in this. I always forget her name. What's her name? My cousin Vinny. Can't fucking think of her name now. Anyway, here's the DVD for the Oscar. I like Oscar. This is a really great comedy. Tim Curry. Tim Curry is in it, but I'm fucking blanking on the name. She's a great actress too. I like her. She plays his daughter in this film. Help me out, guys. I'm just blanking on the name. Marissa Tomei. God, I just couldn't think of it. I know you guys were probably shouting it, but Marissa Tomei in this one. I don't know. I like this comedy. Bit of a farce, as Stallone says. It's more of a French farce, which is a style that's not really for everyone. It moves at a very fast pace. It's like boom, boom, situation after situation. And I think it's a really good comedy. I think it really works. Fanucci's, so many things in this film that sort of stands out to me. Tim Curry, I think, is hilarious in this one, where he's trying to teach Stallone how to practice his diction and stuff. And oh, dog, I've never learned how to speak good. Come on, Mr. Provolone. I like Tim Curry in this one. Yeah, Marissa Tomei, thank you. Yes, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I was having a big brain fart there. But yeah, go on a limb and guess that it didn't actually win an Oscar. No, Oscar was not up for an Oscar. The only reason it's called Oscar is because of a very minor character, which is also weird. Like, the film's called Oscar, but there's a character called Oscar in the film. Stallone doesn't play Oscar. It's a very minor character. It's weird how they titled that film, but yeah, I like Oscar, and Dave agrees here. He really liked Oscar last time I saw it, and still can't go over. I've seen John Landis at the convention. That's cool. Yeah, John Landis, man. This isn't. I wouldn't put this on the same level as like John Landis's comedies, like with Eddie Murphy Coming to America and stuff, and Trading Places. But it's a good one. It's a really, really good one. I like Oscar. I have to get this on Blu-ray because this is still the old DVD. But yeah, Sly was genuinely funny in Oscar, and you can't go wrong with Tim Curry and Marissa Tomei. Yeah, no, you can't. No, you can't. You mucks, don't call me boss. Sorry, boss. There's some good comedy. I like the comedy in this one. You also got Kurtwood Smith in this one as well, who was also in Rambo 3, and I think you got the guy that played Cobra's boss in Cobra. He's in there as well. I forget his name. I think Art LaFleur, if I get that right. He's in it as well. So there are some regular Stallone faces in there as well. But yeah, Oscar at number 30. Moving on to number 29, another comedy, another one that did not get a great reception when it was released in 2013, Christmas Day 2013. This one stars Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro in Grudge Match. Yes, the Italian Stallion versus the Raging Bull. I like this film. I've always liked this one. Also with Alan Arkin in this one, and also Kevin Hart. Not the biggest Kevin Hart fan, but I think he's okay in this film. Kim Basinger as well as John Bernthal. Yeah, probably butchered it, but he's in it as well. I like Grudge Match. It's a film that just shouldn't have worked, because obviously you got Stallone coming off the legacy that is Rocky. De Niro had great success with Raging Bull. You put them in a film together, they sort of sell the film as a Raging Bull versus Rocky film. It is very different. It's a good little drama in its own way, and it has some good comedic moments, some cool throwbacks to Rocky, like when he wants to punch the meat and Alan Arkin says, "Whoa, we just here to buy a little dinner. You don't have to punch everything." But I don't know. I like this one. There's, again, a good relationship drama at the heart of it, a little bit like Rocky. This would have probably worked as a Rocky 7 if it wasn't De Niro as the opponent. This probably would have worked as a Rocky 7. Again, Rocky Balboa ended perfectly. I wouldn't have wanted another Rocky after that, but that could have been a Rocky 7, to be honest. But yeah, I like Grudge Match. What's your next spaghetti western overview, Jeff? We still got a bit to go for that one. I've only picked up a few spaghetti westerns this year, so but yeah. To be continued that one. There will be some more spaghetti western content maybe next year. When I went to see this at the cinema, they apologized. It was so cold there. You always have great experiences at the cinema, don't you, Dave? I mean, Dave was talking on the Terminator stream where, well, it was during T2. There was a bomb threat at the cinema when you watch T2. So Dave always has bad luck at the cinema. The Italian Stallion versus Raging Bull. Yes, indeed. That's how they sold the film. I still remember seeing the trailer for it. I was actually pretty hyped for it because I love Stallone. I love De Niro. Put them together in a film. It's bound to work in some way. So that's number 29. I keep forgetting about the scores. Let's see. So Oscar. Let's go back to Oscar for a bit. Here it is. Oscar has a 6.5 in IMDb. I give it a 6 myself as well. This one has a 6.4. Grudge Match has a 6.4 on IMDb. I give it a 7. I give Grudge Match a solid 7. So next up is a film I do not own on physical because it has never got an official physical media release because this was a Amazon Prime film. This is from 2022, 23, I want to say. Let me just cheat, look that up. Where's the fucking year? Doesn't say the year. 2022, yes. And it is Samaritan. Samaritan, which was a Amazon Prime film. I like Samaritan. I actually watched this one again today to just reaffirm my placing on the list. Its placing on the list, I should say. I like Samaritan. And I do recommend it for anyone that hasn't seen it or that hasn't checked it out yet. I do recommend Samaritan. I just wish it would come out on Blu-ray or DVD. I just wish it would get an official physical media release because I do hate it being stuck just to Amazon Prime. But you know, Samaritan, Stallone's superhero film. As all you know, I'm not the biggest fan of superhero films. Other than like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, I do like that film. But other than that, I'm not the biggest Marvel or DC or whatever superhero fan. But this one. It's a different kind of superhero film. It's also a little futuristic. It reminded me in place a lot of RoboCop. It did remind me of RoboCop a bit, but the way that they present the city and stuff, the city in chaos. And I actually really like Stallone's role in this one. Wasn't too big on the kid actor in this one, but not enough to hurt the film for me, obviously. So at number 28, we have Samaritan. Never got into Stallone comedy. Same with Arnold. So not a fan of Kindergarten Cop then, huh? Because I freaking love Kindergarten Cop. That's my favorite comedy with Arnold. Take that over Twins and especially Junior. But Kindergarten Cop, I freaking love that film. I didn't see the twist coming with Samaritan. I actually didn't either. So yeah. I love Samaritan. It was a great take on a superhero film. And I loved the little twist. Yes. So good to see some fans for it because it doesn't have a high rating. Let's see what's the rating for Samaritan on IMDb. 5.7. Come on, that's too low for Samaritan. I think Samaritan is way better than a 5.7. Wait, I'm reading that. Yes, I am reading. I give it a 6.5 myself. 6.5 for Samaritan from me. And again, if you guys haven't seen it, I recommend it. But it's sort of a superhero film. Could be like a comic book sort of film. Interesting that we should mention that because Stallone did do a comic book film before. And at number 27, we have 1995's Judge Dredd. I am the law. You know what? I know that people don't like this one. I always loved Judge Dredd. Again, it was one of the earlier Stallone films I saw, like post Rocky and Rambo. This was one of the early ones I saw as a kid. And I've always had a huge soft spot and a liking for Judge Dredd. I absolutely love it. Not the biggest Rob Schneider fan, but strange enough, in Judge Dredd, I actually do not mind Rob Schneider. Usually I can't stand him on screen, but I actually do not mind him in Judge Dredd. Is it a trouble film? Yes. It feels a bit too short, that film, as well. I remember watching it last month. Right here, we got the Blu-ray for that one again. I remember watching it on Blu-ray last month again, and I was thinking, like, this is a pretty short film. Like, this could have easily been like 10 or 20 minutes longer or whatever, and probably would have been better, because I think they cut a lot of stuff. But trouble production. I like Judge Dredd. I know not everybody does, and that's okay, but I like it. So yeah. Don't mind. Oh yeah, Mike Barrett saying don't mind Kindergarten Cop. To be fair, that's good. Like I said, I freaking love Kindergarten Cop. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all. I like this Judge Dredd. Not as good as the other one, but still good fun. You see, I've never been big on the Carl Urban one myself. It's a little too much CGI for me, but yeah, I like Judge Dredd. I knew you'd say that. Yeah. Man, they really wanted that to be a catchphrase. Yes, they did try for that. And I do like Rob Schneider's little Stallone impression. He said, "You can't explain why you're here, can you? Mister, I am the law." Can't. I thought, hey, that's a pretty good Stallone impression there, Schneider. Detox was directed by the guy that directed by the guy... Detox was directed by the guy that directed I Know What You Did Last Summer. And Judge Dredd was directed by the bloke that directed I Know What You Did Last Summer too. Ah, there you go. Yes. That is actually interesting. I did not know he directed. Danny Cannon. Yes, Danny Cannon directed Judge Dredd. Diane Lane is great, plus she's gorgeous. Yes, she is a pretty good love interest for Sly in the film. But yeah, we're still in the 90s with the next one. Like I said, I give this one a solid 6.5, 7. What did I say? Where the fuck is it? Danny Cannon. Yeah, I give this one a 6.5. It has a 5.9 on IMDb. Next film has again a 5.9 on IMDb as well. Oh wait, no, Judge Dredd has a 5.6. Correction, 5.6 for Judge Dredd on IMDb. The next film has a 5.9 IMDb. I give it once again a 6.5 myself. No, I give it a 7. 7. Keep misreading it. But from 1996, this is the what's the word? Disaster movie, Daylight. Not a disaster movie in the sense that it was a disaster at the box office. I mean, I think it made money. It was a box office disappointment, but disaster film because it's a film that takes place in the sort of the tunnel that connects New York and New Jersey. There's a big accident, a big explosion. Sly's a rescue worker. He goes in there, and you got pretty much a great all-star cast in it, including Danielle Harris for the horror fans, for the Halloween fans. That Danielle Harris is in this film. Sage Stallone is in it as well. Daylight. Here's the DVD. And I just got, actually, a few hours ago. This is one of my latest upgrades. I do now have it on Blu-ray as well, the German Blu-ray, which comes with a shit ton of extras. I'm looking forward to digging into that, because I was watching Daylight last month on this DVD. I was thinking, like, the picture quality really doesn't hold up too much on this DVD. I have to get it on Blu-ray, so rectified. We got it on Blu-ray. But yeah, I like Daylight. Amy Brenneman, she's great in this one. Yeah, I like this one. Was Diane Lane in Detox? It's been a while since I've seen. No, she's not in Detox. No, she's not. Daylight, it's meh for me. Samaritan was released on Blu-ray and 4K. How did I not hear about this? Why can I not find a copy of it anywhere? Okay, I'm gonna look this up after the stream. As far as I was aware, there's no physical copy of it. Daylight's meh for Mike Barrett. Daylight should be one of my favorite films. I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. Oh, you're definitely, man. I like Daylight. I know that Jason, Backtrack Cinema, he wasn't a fan of it. It didn't do much for him. But I've always liked Daylight. I think Sly is a really, really great, does a really great performance in this one. Again, I like the whole thing in the tunnel. This film actually gave me a bit of a phobia for tunnels. Like I passed through a few tunnels on my way to work. I don't like going through them anymore ever since I saw Daylight. So at least it's done that for me. I'm not the biggest fan of tunnels anymore. So Daylight is great. The behind the scenes of the tunnel side of school. Yes, it was a set. It wasn't the real tunnel. Obviously, they built a huge, massive set in Italy in Cinecittà Studios, actually, where they shot a lot of spaghetti westerns back in the day. And it's a big Italian film studio. Cinecittà Studios in Italy. They built this massive, massive set, like the full tunnel there. Um, Great production value, and actually the massive explosion in the film that sort of is the inciting incident for everything. It is a CGI explosion. It's like a mixture of practical and CGI. Just like the CGI effects in Terminator 2, it has not aged. It still looks pretty cool, that explosion. So it doesn't look wonky or anything. It's a good mix of practical and CGI there. So I don't know, why did CGI in the 90s look better than CGI today? That's another topic for another day. But I saw Daylight on TNT years ago. Wasn't too impressed, I have to admit. Well, I would say give it another watch. You might like it more. I guess it's not for everyone, but Daylight looks like it's set in the Jersey Tunnel, Mercy Tunnel. Yeah. For my area, I wish it had, as I could have been an extra in it. That would have been cool. Yeah. Would you have been one of the actors that would have died in the tunnel, though? Bob McCall, Diane Lane was Aegis in Streets of Fire. Yes, Streets of Fire. That's a good film there. Hope Jim's movie channel is still there, because next up, this shows how much I love this film. So Daylight was 26. Yeah. So at number 25, this film at number 25 has a 4 on IMDb, which is too low for me. Directed by Bob Clark, 1984. At number 25, we have Rhinestone. Last night I went out honky tonkin'. Got my Blu-ray from Germany. I love Rhinestone. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I love Rhinestone. I don't know. Dolly Parton. You can't go wrong with Dolly. I love Dolly. She's a national treasure. Stallone, again, I don't mind Stallone singing. I don't mind him as a singer. Frank Stallone is a better singer. Again, I think we all agree on that. But I do not mind Stallone singing this one, and I love the songs in this one. Sadly, everybody hates it. Even Sly himself hates it, but it's weird with Sly. He says he hates it, but check out this little bit I put together especially for this.
You know what's even better? Your singing. That's even better.
Last night I went out honky tonkin'.
Last night I went out honky tonkin'.
What's your pace? Get the tempo up a little.
Dressed up in my very best.
Dressed up in my very best.
I just wanna fall in love.
But I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna fall in love.
Thank you.
Now, would a man that hates this film so much remember the song lyrics? I doubt it. I think Sly overplays the fact that he hates it. I think secretly he has a soft spot for it, and so do I. So, yeah, I love Rhinestone. Anyway, I'm going for a cigarette break. We're pretty much at the halfway mark. So, I think old school CGI looked great because it had to compete with practical effects. So they really had to bring their A game. Now that CGI is no competition, they got lazy with it. Okay, well, yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah, I know. There's that musical gem. Big fan of that. Yes, I love Rhinestone, man. And again, I think Sly secretly does as well. I don't think Sly would remember all the lyrics because it's 40 years since that film. That film is now in the 40th anniversary, right? So I don't think I would remember the lyrics of a film I did 40 years ago. So yeah. I think he secretly likes it more than he likes to admit. Sly teaming with Dolly Parton still feels so unreal, but it's still interesting. It is a nice little pairing. I like him and Dolly together. I think they have really good chemistry in the film. I know. I just think it's great, the whole thing, to be honest. Stallone's daughters are hot. Just don't let him hear me say that, because he would murder me there. He would go Rambo on your ass. Yeah, that's for sure. I love Streets of Fire. Walter Hill. Yeah, I love Walter Hill. He hits the spot every time. Anyway, yeah, this one has a ridiculous low rating on IMDb for me. Like I said, it's like a 4 point something, like a 4.0, I think. I give Rhinestone myself a 6.5, maybe even 7. I don't know. Call me crazy, but it's just one of them films I've always liked a hell of a lot. Again, Dolly, Sly and Dolly together. I like country music anyway. I'm a big country music fan, so I especially love Dolly Parton music. So that's one of my sort of things. And I don't really say too much, but I do like Dolly Parton's songs. And I think she wrote some really fantastic songs for the film. I like Drinkenstein. I'll admit I love Drinkenstein. Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call me Drinkenstein. Just happened at the toilet, so perfect timing. Favorite Dolly from this film or in general? In general, I will say Jolene. Jolene. From this film, I like the song, the duet she does with Sly, Sweet Love and Friends. That's probably my favorite song on the Rhinestone soundtrack, is Sweet Love and Friends. Although I do like Woke Up in Love as well, There's not a winner, honky tonkin', that song. And I also do like the song she sings in the beginning of the film, which is Tennessee Homesick Blues. All physical media is completely subjective. It can relate to someone and not relate to another. That's very true. True in movies as well, not just physical media, but yeah. I think the low score in Rhinestone is due to mob mentality. Some popular people online say it sucks, so all the sheep think it sucks. But the people that have watched it like it. Well, not everybody apparently, but yeah. If you do put yourself through it, you probably will end up having some liking for it. So yeah, like I said, I love it. For me, it's pretty much borderline love for this film. I've been looking for that for ages. I've been looking for the CD for ages. I would buy the CD of Rhinestone in a heartbeat. I really would. But Bob McCall has it, and he also has the vinyl. No bootlegs here. Awesome, love it, brother. Davis thing, I love country music also. I was raised on it pretty much. I wouldn't say I was raised on it, but I've always been a fan of country music myself. Playing GTA San Andreas as a kid, and you had that country station, K-Rose, some really great bangers on there. That's sort of where my love for country music started, was the video game GTA San Andreas. Always had K-Rose on. Still do, actually. After we finish the cigarette, we will, of course, continue the ranking. A great little moment there where we took the break at number 25. Still, there's a few more to go, so a few more to go. If I ever meet Stallone, you can bet I'm getting him the autograph Rhinestone. Hey, I would pull that in his face as well to sign for me, man. That's the thing. Most stars don't expect you to pull out their flops for you to sign. They always... If you meet Stallone, he's probably like, "Oh, you got a copy of Rocky there?" I bet you, if you pull out Rhinestone and say Sly, can you sign? He would be like, "Oh, wow, well, yeah, sure. I never signed these before." Probably would be something like that. It would catch him off guard. It's like a nice surprise for these stars if you pull out one of their lesser films, quote unquote. But yeah, I love Rhinestone. I've always defended it. I will defend it. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill defending Rhinestone. Anyway, let's finish off this cigarette. There we go. Got some nicotine in me. Let's continue on with 24. Now that I do have the pictures loaded up, I do know what 24 is, so it makes it easier for when I sit my hands back down. Okay. So number 24, we got a very early Stallone film. Well, not all too early. It's not pre-Rocky. This is the first film he did right after Rocky from 1978 as well, same year as Paradise Alley. Directed by Norman Jewison, who directed great films in his time. one I remember the most is And Justice for All with Al Pacino, 1979. But this film is number 24, Fist, with Sylvester Stallone, Rod Steiger as well. Once again in this one. Who else is in this one? Melinda Dillon, Kevin Conway, Tony Lobianco. Directed by Norman Jewison, as I said. Screenplay by Joe Esterhaus of Basic Instinct fame. And Sylvester Stallone co-wrote it as well. Music by Bill Conti. This one, Fist, has a 6.4, which is criminally low. I give this one a 7, easily. Fist from 1978. The first film he did after Rocky, a drama. It's a really good drama. If you guys have seen like The Irishman or Hoffa with Jack Nicholson, very similar because this is loosely based on the Jimmy Hoffa stories. Stallone's character pretty much is a fictionalized Jimmy Hoffa in this one, but it is still pretty much the Jimmy Hoffa story about the Teamster. It's a bit of a crime film as well. Like you got organized crime stuff in there. Really, really excellent drama, and again a great performance by Sly. Also for the Rambo fans, look out for a little surprise appearance from Brian Dennehy in this one. Sheriff Teasle from First Blood, he appears in this one. And he actually does share the screen with Sly. And every time I watch this film, I forget that he's in it. And when that scene comes up, I'm like, oh, Brian Dennehy and Sly sharing the screen a few years before First Blood. So, yeah, I love Fist. It's a really good drama. Awesome. Look at that. We're Rhinestone buddies. Rhinestone brothers. Yeah. No, Fist, I love it. So let's move on to another great, underrated Sylvester Stallone film. 1981. Same year as Victory or Escape to Victory. I just got this on Blu-ray as well, along with Daylight. I had to upgrade from my DVD. But number 23, we got Bruce Melman's Nighthawks with Sylvester Stallone and Rutger Hauer and also Billy Dee Williams. Here we go. Here's my DVD that I can now get rid of because I just got in the mail the German Blu-ray of Nighthawks, which has special features. Unlike my bare bones DVD, this one has. I just watched a great documentary on there, which is great about the different cuts and stuff that was cut out from this film. Also has the US TV cut on here, which is even more cut than the regular version. But yeah, Nighthawks, like I said, literally just got the Blu-ray of that. This is another criminally underrated film. There is stuff cut from it. It's not the complete version as was intended. There are still scenes missing and stuff, and obviously it has a big goof up at the end where spoilers for a 40-plus-year-old film. Where Stallone shoots Rutger Hauer twice, but he has like 5 or 6, blood squibs go off. He has like 6 bullet holes in his torso because they cut a few of the shots, but you still see the impact of the shots. But it's weird how they cut that together. But yeah, pretty much butchered, but still a great film. Let's look up the specs. Nighthawks has a 6.3. Come on, that's way too low. 6.3 on IMDb. I give Nighthawks a solid 7.5 myself. 7.5. It's a really great crime thriller. Gritty New York setting. Like pretty much reminds you of like films like The French Connection, stuff like that. Stallone's look in it with the beard reminds you of Serpico with Pacino. Definitely has the Serpico look going on in this one. I don't know. I've always liked Nighthawks. It's a really kick-ass 80s crime thriller. Not necessarily action, more of a crime thriller. And I mean, Rutger Hauer. I'm Dutch. Rutger Hauer's Dutch. I gotta support my Dutch brother, Rutger Hauer. May he rest in peace. He's fantastic as Wolfgar. Again, Stallone's ego was playing up a little bit for this film. Stallone did trim down a lot of Rutger Hauer's scenes because he felt he was being upstaged, just like in Specialist with James Woods. So sadly, a few of the scenes that Rutger Hauer had were cut from the film because of Stallone's demands. But still, he still turns in a great performance, and Stallone as well. And Billy Dee Williams, you got that great bit where Billy Dee Williams gets slashed in his face by Rutger Hauer, and Stallone, stays with Billy Dee Williams and he shouts like, "You're fucking dead! I'm gonna get you, you motherfucker! You're fucking dead!" Before that, I never heard Stallone drop the F-bomb. So when I saw that film for the first time and he was like, "You're fucking dead," I was like, "Oh, cool. Stallone's dropping the F-bomb sounds pretty cool." Um, Although I'm lying. He dropped the F-bomb in First Blood and like Rambo 2 and stuff, but not as massive, as in this instance. But yeah, Nighthawks is amazing, man. Is it just me that thinks that the lady in the black and white poster looks like Carrie Fisher? Black and white poster. Which one is that? Anthony, you have to refresh me there. Was that on Fist or? Oh, I'm guessing that was on Fist. Okay, no, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, and that poster, maybe she does. Yeah. Never watched Nighthawks all the way through. You definitely should, man. It's a really great one. Yeah, Lady in Black and White. Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. Nighthawks is amazing. I randomly checked what Stallone looked at when I was at that age, and I had a similar haircut and beard. Oh yeah, I love that beard that he has there, man. Sly's a fit bird in Nighthawks. Yes, he is. Sly doing some cross-dressing in that film as well, which is pretty hilarious. But I actually watched it, and then the electric one I never finished. That's a shame, man. That's a shame. If that happened on Rhinestone, you would have been pretty much lucky in your case, because not everybody again likes Rhinestone. But on a film like this, keep the electricity going. Fist, yeah, indeed, Fist. Anyway, that was number, what did we say, 24, 23? Fist was 24, Nighthawks 23. Here we go, number 22, we go into a kick-ass action film. Number 22, we have a film from 2010. Again, after Rocky Balboa 2006 and Rambo 2008, this one was a big film for Sly, a big, massive success. Spawned another franchise. We've already covered 2 films in this franchise, but this is The Expendables Part 1 from 2010. The first one, and for many the best, but there's one that I prefer over this one. I actually do prefer the extended cut on this Blu-ray myself to the theatrical cut. But yeah, Expendables, man. What can I say that hasn't already been said? Sly did such a great job gathering all these action stars. Bruce Willis is in there. Arnie cameos in it. You've got Jet Li, Jason Statham, Terry Crews, Dolph Lundgren. So many people in this one. Eric Roberts as the villain. Eric Roberts is not the most memorable Expendables villain. At least he's a name I do recognize. I've seen Eric Roberts in a lot of stuff. Obviously, he was in the specials as well with Stallone. But after Expendables 4, where I'm not even remembering what the villain looked like, I'm going to say, Eric Roberts ain't so bad as a villain. He's definitely better than whatever that was in Expendables 4. So, yeah, Expendables 1, again, I love this one. I prefer the extended cut with some different music choices and some new scenes and takes added in. Barney Ross and co. in The Expendables. Fantastic film. Absolutely love it. Check it out if you haven't. At number 21, speaking of kick-ass action films. Oh wait, I forgot about the IMDb rating before we go to 21. I don't want to jump the gun. Expendables has a 6.4 on IMDb. Does IMDb just hate Sly? Like 6.4, why is it such a low score? Expendables 1, the director's cut for me gets a 7.5 once again. Yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. Number 21, another big action film from the 80s. We're going into Rambo territory now. From 1988, we got Peter McDonald's Rambo 3, or as that poster there says, First Blood Part 3, which admittedly would have been the appropriate title because you have First Blood and First Blood Part 2, so this one should have been called Rambo First Blood Part 3. But no, as we know it, it's Rambo 3 like this. Great action film, entertaining all the way through. It is my least favorite of the Rambo films, but again, least favorite don't mean shit because the word favorite is still in there, guys. I don't know, what else can I say about this one? This was the most expensive film ever made at the time. Certainly the most expensive action film. The stunt work in it is crazy, over the top. I love it. I love it as an action film. But as a Rambo film, there are, 4 other Rambo films I prefer over it. So, yeah, but Rambo 3, any of the Rambo films, you cannot go wrong. This is kind of sad to hear Stallone's ego affect the performance of his co-stars in the final film when they outacted him. Yes, he has admitted that he had some issues with his ego, and especially in the 80s, especially there in that decade. Yeah, Fist is a loose retelling of Jimmy Hoffa's story, as I did. Excuse me. I did mention that. Yeah, and Nighthawks is a good old school thriller. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Expendables, man. Yeah, Steve Austin accidentally broke Sly's neck. That big, when he says to Steve Austin, "Come on!" and Steve Austin runs at him and just smashes him in the wall. That's when Sly broke his neck, and yeah, he has definitely suffered for the craft. That's for sure. And that's a great case in point right there. One of my favorite Stallone memories was meeting my dad in my local town center. Oh shit! He's giving me some Christmas money, and then going to see Expendables, and a big box of beer, and going home to watch. Going to buy Expendables and a big box of beer, going home to watch. Yes, I got you. Yes, that is cool. That is a perfect film to sit around with, like your dad, or just get a few mates around, a few buddies, and just have some beers, watch Expendables. It's perfect. You'll have a perfect night. You'll have a really entertaining night. Eric Roberts is so close to having the record of most bad movie appearances. Well, he has appeared in a lot of bad stuff. He has appeared in a lot of good stuff. He's one of them actors. He just takes a paycheck for a lot of films. So he just likes paychecks. He likes getting paid, which I don't blame him. Rambo 3 is amazing to me. It's in my top 5. Well, like I said, it's my least favorite Rambo films. I do prefer the other Rambo films, but yeah, it's still a pretty kick-ass action film. Yeah, top 5 Stallone films. I got you. Rambo 3, your least favorite? No way, it's better than Last Blood. No, I prefer Last Blood. You clearly haven't seen my Rambo ranking that I did a few weeks ago, but that's okay. No, I prefer Last Blood to Rambo 3 myself. Bob McCall, this is my favorite Rambo film. I love it. Stick fighting. Yes, that stick fight scene is awesome. I mean, no Rambo film is bad. It's just I prefer some over others. But yeah. Anyway, that was at number 20. God, I forgot already. Number 21. We're entering now into the top 20. So what could be at number 20? We just had a Rambo entry, so I think it's time to go into the Rocky universe. And at number 20, we have 2018's Creed 2. Creed 2. Yes, the second Creed film here at number 20. Here is the Blu-ray I have. Now, what can I say? You guys know I'm a massive Rocky fan. Obviously, I'm wearing a Rocky shirt. I'm wearing the Rocky fedora. I got the Rocky poster right there. I did 6 Rocky watch parties back to back now, or double features of them. But you guys know I love Rocky. I even like the Creed films. Don't necessarily love the Creed films as much as I do the Rockies, but I still do like Creed 1 and 2. So this one is great. They brought back the Dragos. Ivan Drago is back. Dolph Lundgren. I don't know. I just really thought Creed 2 was a really solid entry. It has a 7. Oh wait, I forgot about the IMDb score on Rambo 3. Rambo 3 has a 5.8 on IMDb. Now, Rambo 3 might be my least favorite Rambo film, but that's way too low for Rambo 3. Rambo 3 has a 5.8 on IMDb. I give Rambo 3 an 8 myself. So that's not a bad score, guys. An 8 for Rambo 3. Same for Creed 2. I give Creed 2 an 8 as well, and the IMDb score for Creed 2 is 7.1, so not far off there with my score, but Rambo 3 is criminally underrated on IMDb. Let's be honest. But yeah, Creed 2, I love it. Enough said for that one, I would say. What does it do? It turns blue. Can I have it? Oh yeah, a little kid, yeah, he wanted everything. Hey, Yum Yum is here. What's your Jeff? Hope you're well, champ. Yes, doing good. Doing good, my friend. Doing really good. Anytime I'm talking slow, I'm doing good, so... Ballas here. Hey, Jeff, where do we start with this? Stallone is one of my favorites. I would say Cobra is my number 1. Just love that 80s cheese. I'm a big Cobra fan as well. We haven't mentioned it yet, so it's going to come up pretty high. I think Creed 2 may have an edge. He might edge it better than Creed 1. Yeah, I can maybe see that myself, but I do have Creed 1 a little bit higher coming up, obviously. Yeah, I was saying just redecorating the physical media room. Oh, awesome. Yes, we do have to do that from time to time, don't we? Wish Creed 2 had the deleted scuffle between... Yes! Oh, I was so disappointed that wasn't on the deleted scenes bit. I saw the behind the scenes when they filmed it, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a cool moment in the film. And yeah, it wasn't in the film, and it's not on the deleted scene, but there was supposed to be a little fight again with Ivan Drago and Rocky, which was disappointing that we never saw it. But yeah, anyway, that was Creed 2 at number 20. If I got that correctly. Yes, it was number 20. Let's go to number 19. We're finishing off the Expendables films because now we have 2012's Expendables 2. Hands down, my favorite Expendables film. This has the best cast of all. You got Chuck Norris in this one. Jean-Claude Van Damme is the bad guy. Bruce Willis and Arnold's roles, they're expanded. They have much more to do than Expendables 1. You still have Jet Li, you still have Dolph Lundgren, all the other guys. But yeah, just adding Van Damme and Chuck Norris is, I love it. And especially that ending where they throw these catchphrases around and I'll be back, you've been back enough, I'll be back, yippee-ki-yay and stuff like that. And my shoe is bigger than this car. I love all that stuff. I eat it up like a lovely little ice cream or whatever. It's so, I love it. I love Expendables 2. Hands down my favorite in that franchise, for me personally. And I think a lot of people might say that. I think a lot of people's favorite Expendables is the second one. So I have heard that from a lot of people anyway. Have you ever seen Rocky? I think you may like it. Well, you wouldn't say it, but I have seen it once or twice. There we go. Anthony's agreeing. It is, the best Expendables film. It's hands down my favorite. Yeah. Jet Li is a badass. Yeah. I wish he had a bigger part in the Expendables. I know he was big in 1. He sort of had a diminished role in 2, and obviously he just had a glorified cameo in the third one. I wish he was in number 2 and 3 a bit more, but other than that, like I said, Expendables 2, the best. And Jet Li does have a great scene there in the opening of the film. But yeah. Anyway, move on to number 18. We have another Rambo film coming up. This is 2019's Rambo Last Blood. And I just realized I forgot the IMDb score for Expendables 2. So let's quickly mention that before we go on Rambo Last Blood. The Expendables 2 has 6.6 on IMDb. I give it an 8. So there's a difference there. IMDb, again, criminally underrated for this film, for Expendables 2. Rambo Last Blood has a 6.1, which I also definitely don't agree with. Rambo Last Blood, 6.1 IMDb. I give Rambo Last Blood, again, a solid 8 stars out of 10 myself. So it's the same rating I gave Rambo 3. It's just I slightly preferred. But yeah, Rambo Last Blood right there. I got the 4K. I love this film. I think it's a great ending to the series. It's not the perfect ending that Rambo 4 was, where it really went full circle by the end. But as an epilogue and as another great ending, I love Last Blood. And I do also like that he left it open. I remember watching this one in the cinema. I actually saw it twice in the cinema, Rambo Last Blood. I was really hyped for it. I remember thinking when I've watched it the first time, I was like, I'm really hoping he doesn't do a Rambo dies at the end. I really would not want to see Rambo dying. And then when you have that final scene where sitting in a rocking chair, I was like, are they gonna do this to me? Are they gonna do a big, epic sweep away from the house as he's still in the rocking? Am I gonna not know? But then I do love that you got that montage during the end credits, and at the very end you do see him get on the horse again and riding off. So Rambo lives. So I was happy when I saw that. I was like, oh, thank God they didn't kill him. It would have probably been maybe story-wise better if they had killed Rambo off. Obviously, now, Stallone could still do a sequel. I really hope this is it. I really hope this is the end of Rambo, to be honest. Would I watch another Rambo film? Hell yeah, I love Rambo. I mean, we haven't got to this one yet, but I love Rambo, and especially this one, Rambo 2. I would watch another Rambo film, but I do hope that this one is the end of Rambo. I hope this one, remains to be Last Blood. I hope there's no Rambo for real, the Last Blood this time or something like that. I really hope Sly leaves it, but I love this one. Yeah, that was in the first one. Yeah, Lundgren versus Jet Li. That was a cool fight. What are you, size 10? Bring it, Happy Feet. I almost hope this isn't the last one. Well, I do. I think it's a great end there, especially that ending montage. showing the sort of the images of all the other films again. I think it's a nice, cool ending, especially with Brian Tyler's music. For me, Rambo Last Blood is so underrated. I honestly don't get the hate. I love the whole story on the ranch. I love that it goes a bit taken, like his niece gets kidnapped and stuff, and with the Mexican cartels. I love the whole story. I love the whole concept of it. I love how it's executed. I like Stallone's performance in it. Especially that final action scene, the final 20 minutes of this film. Rambo 4 was brutal, and this one almost tops it. Almost, I will say. I'd still say Rambo 4 is more brutal, but this one comes down close. But yeah, that's Rambo Last Blood at number 18. Number 17, we go back to Rocky. You guys know I have a physical copy of this one because obviously we did a watch party. But number 17, we have a Rocky film that is my least favorite Rocky film. Again, which doesn't mean shit because I still watch this particular film like 500 times in a row if I could. 1985 Christmas film. This came out in November of 1985. It's Rocky 4, America versus Russia. Now, for me, again, like I said, I've made my explanations for it. I just think it's the most silly, the most goofy Rocky film. I prefer the director's cut. I will say that once again. I prefer the Rocky, the street bum with the fedora as opposed to the flashy, Rocky stuff in Rocky 3 and 4. The robot is goofy. That's why, I prefer the director's cut. Although I never had too many issues with the robot myself, but I do admit it's goofy. But Rocky 4 will never be my favorite Rocky film, but it is still a Rocky film, and it's still a film that I have watched, a gazillion times in my lifetime. Like I said, I was 6, 7 years old when I first watched the Rocky films, and since that time, I've watched them pretty much annually. In the beginning, I watched them like once a week when I first got into the film. So it's safe to say I've watched these films a gazillion times, more times than I like to admit. So having it placed here and saying it's my least favorite Rocky film does not mean shit. It's still a film I will take on an island with me. So yeah, there you go. I just felt I had to get that off my chest because people do say like, "Oh my God, you put Rocky 4 last. How can you?" And this is why I prefer Rocky, 1, 2, and I prefer the more drama heavy popcorn entertainment films. Rocky, it's not my preferred Rocky. So there you go. Yamian saying here in England the age certificate ratings are weird on Expendables films. I mean, the Expendables 1 is an 18, Expendables 2 is a 15, Expendables 2 is a 12, which is going down. It's weird. Well, Expendables 4, the one positive thing I will say about Expendables 4, what? There's positive? Yes, there is a positive point. At least there was more violence and more blood in Expendables 4 than there was in 3. So that's one thing I will give Expendables 4. But yeah. Rambo 2008 is my favorite in the Rambo franchise. I've not seen the latest one yet, though. 2008 is coming up a little higher, definitely, for sure. It's I think that, without spoiling too much, that might be somewhere in my top 10, I'm thinking. Could easily be. This is one of my favorite films. No Easy Way Out is probably one of my favorite songs. Yes, soundtrack. I mean, again, there's so many great things about Rocky 4, but not enough to say I like it more than Rocky 1 or 2 or even 5 and Balboa, so. But yeah, I do love the soundtrack. Soundtrack-wise, Rocky 4 is the one I listen to the most. I listen to that soundtrack over and over again. If you had to guess, how many times would you say you've seen all the Rocky films, if you had to roughly guess? For me, I've seen about 30. You might want to add another 0 there for me. And that's just for Rocky 1 alone, let alone the sequel. So, like I said, I watched the Rocky films an unhealthy amount of times, This year alone, I watched them 2 or 3 times this year, so there you go. And I've not seen Expendables 4, but looking at the Blu-ray now, it's a 15, so it's gone up in age rating, which is good, especially for action. Well, Expendables 4 is my least favorite Stallone film, since I have seen it 2 days ago, so don't get your hopes up too much for it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But, yeah, I'm sure there are fans for it. Anyway, that was Rocky 4 from 1985. I think I forgot the IMDb score again, which again is criminally underrated for this one. 6.9 for Rocky 4. Okay, well, not too far off of my rating. I give Rocky 4 a 7.5. So it's still a film I really, really appreciate. So anyway, next up at number 16, we're staying with the Rocky character. This is the first of the spin-offs. 2015's Creed by Ryan Coogler. Now, Creed has a 7.6 on IMDb, and my score is a 9 for this one. This is the highest score I've given a film so far. I give Creed a 9. Yeah, this comes close to like a 10 out of 10 film, which Sly has a few of in my top 10. I'm seeing at least 4 or 5. But yeah, no, Creed. I had no expectations for this one. I think I talked about this yesterday on my Balboa watch party. I had no expectations for Creed. I was actually against it. I was like, another film with Rocky over my dead body? No way. I'm not gonna watch this. And I did not watch it in cinema, and I waited until it wasn't streaming, and then I gave it a chance, and I ended up absolutely fucking loving this film, Creed. Again, I will not put it on the same ring as Rocky or Rocky 2 or Balboa, but this comes close. I like this film a hell of a lot, and Stallone should have won the damn Oscar for it. I keep saying, I've said that a million times before, but Stallone should have won the Oscar for Creed. Honestly, he was robbed. He was just robbed, let's be honest. So yeah, that's Creed at number 16. It is number 16. Let's go on to number 15. We're still staying with the Rocky character for at least the next two entries. Wait, is that about Creed? About how many times I watched Rocky. Yeah, like I said, I watched these an unhealthy amount of times. Yeah, we're staying with Rocky for number 15. At number 15, we have my second least favorite Rocky film, Rocky 3. Again, same explanation as Rocky 4. I just prefer Rocky 1, 2, 5, and Balboa over the Rocky 3 and 4, which are the popcorn entertainment films. Again, they're entertaining. They're definitely entertaining. And they're still part of this franchise that I love oh so much. And I still would not have to franchise without Rocky 3 or 4. But I do prefer the other Rocky films. Case in point, let's just move right along after I give the IMDb scores. 6.8 on IMDb for Rocky 3. My rating, once again, an 8. And same for the next one, number 14, Rocky 5. We just watched this one yesterday, so I don't need to go too much into this one. But Rocky 5, the first one that I personally saw, 1990. This one directed by John G. Ethelson again, just like the first one. 5.4 on IMDb. My rating is again an 8 for it, so yeah. This next one is going to be interesting, though. I know this is a fan favorite for many Stallone fans. And number 13, lucky number 13, we have the last action film of the 1980s, the last mainstream film released in 1989. This is Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell in 1989's Tango and Cash. I absolutely fucking love Tango and Cash. When I did my top 10 Stallone video a few years ago, this was in my top 10. Again, I've explained that in my top 10 video, I only made the choice to go one film per franchise. Now I've included more Rockies and Rambos within the top 10, so Tango and Cash moved a few spots, but this is still one of my all-time favorite Sylvester Stallone films, guys. I absolutely love everything about Tango and Cash. Another one I could watch over and over and over again. We start to go into the greatest of all time Stallone film zone right here. I would say like number 20 onwards, or well, let's say number 21 onwards with Rambo 3. That's where we go into. I watch these films time and time again. You know, same with Tango and Cash. I know it's a favorite for many. I absolutely love it. You know. It wasn't the biggest hit of the 80s, but it's still a great film. Not seen Creed for a while, but there's an issue I have with it. I may be wrong because I've been seen for a while, but didn't Adonis get a title fight just after one boxing match? Yeah, it's a similar situation to how Rocky got the chance. Free clock as Rocky calls it. Rocky obviously got the title shot because he was known as the Italian Stallion. That's why Apollo Creed picked him. And the reasoning for Adonis getting the title fight is because Ricky Conlon, played by Tony Bellew, he's going to prison. He has a similar situation to Apollo Creed in the first one, where the fighter he was scheduled to fight backed out, or it didn't work out. Oh wait, I think didn't Conlon punch him during the weigh-in, and so the other boxer was hurt during the weigh-in. So they had to get a quick replacement, and then they saw there's a new Creed on the block. That news came out. That's why, for publicity's sake, they want him to fight a Creed. So that's the reason for the film does a better job explaining it, obviously, than I do. The film has 2 hours to do it, so I only did it in a few seconds. But yeah, that's the reason why Creed gets that fight. And Creed did have 16 fights in Mexico, which don't officially count, but they did add that to his record, so he had like 16-0 or something in total. Pop Shot Hot Quiz from Professor Macabro. If you could change Rocky IV and have Apollo live to have him in the future movies at the risk of the Creed series not existing, would you? Well, we did discuss this, I think, yesterday and in the Rocky IV and Rocky 3 and 4 double feature watch party stream. But I think Sly has agreed that killing Apollo was a mistake. I agree. Many fans agree. It would have been so awesome if Apollo had lived, and if it would have been like a kickboxer sort of situation where Apollo was crippled or in a wheelchair. Obviously, Rocky V, it would have just changed the whole trajectory of the sequels beyond Rocky IV. Rocky V would be totally different. Balboa would be different. And if Creed were to happen, that would have been way different as well. Or maybe Creed wouldn't have happened, but I would have loved to have been an alternate universe where Apollo lived. So, yeah. Rocky V is seriously underrated. I do not get the hate. Hey, I don't either. I love it. I mean, I do get the flaws with it. Again, it's not a flawless film. I myself have flaws with the film, but I don't hate it. So, yeah. Rocky IV is okay for what it is, and Rocky III is a good film about going back to basics and rediscovering yourself, which is also a little Rocky V, going back to basics. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I get, Rocky IV and V are the favorites for many because they're the most entertaining, but entertaining doesn't necessarily mean the best for me. I prefer a deeper story and character stuff and things like that. That's the only reason why I don't have 4 and 3 as high. But bloody dirt. Yes, Tango and Cash quotes coming in. I knew it. Rocky V primarily suffered from the studio not letting Stallone direct it. Well, I think Stallone didn't want to direct it himself. I think he didn't want to spend, the months in the editing, post-production. He didn't want to waste another year of his life on a Rocky film at that point. He said it himself in an interview. He was lazy. He called himself lazy, so it's his words, not mine. But he was lazy, and that's why John Avildsen got back to direct it. Stallone has regretted not directing it himself, so, Tango and Cash was my number 1, but Over the Top Over the Top hasn't been mentioned yet, so I love that film. No worries. Once my room is on, gotta sit down and rewatch Rocky 1 to 6. Yeah, definitely do so. Like I said, I could watch them right now again. I just watched 5 and 6 yesterday. Yeah, Tango and Cash. Great film. Great action film. I kind of really hated Paulie as a kid because he caused Rocky to be dirt poor, which kind of also doesn't make sense because he would still get endorsement money. Yes, that is, again, Rocky V is not flawless. That is one of the flaws. He would have, in reality, he probably would have been able to bounce back, more better, in a better way than he did in the film. He probably would have had endorsement deals and stuff. He still would have had money. So, yeah, again, Rocky V not flawless, but I do still love it a hell of a lot. Anyway. Tango and Cash. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I don't think I mentioned the IMDb score, I think, but 6.4 on IMDb for Tango and Cash. I give it an 8 once again. This is just a pure 80s action, great 80s action film, buddy cop film. I love the pairing of Stallone and Kurt Russell, so Tango and Cash can do no wrong for me. Anyway, move on to number 12 from going back to the 90s. This is Stallone's big comeback. He did Cliffhanger, and then he did another great film, which really brought him back. Even though this film didn't get great critical reception at the time. But at number 12, we have Demolition Man from 1994, I want to say. 1993, excuse me, the same year as Cliffhanger, yes. The same year as Cliffhanger, Stallone and Wesley Snipes, futuristic film. I think it's a great action film. I have the Blu-ray of it right here. I will be getting the Arrow Video 4K that has, I think, just dropped this week, and that is coming my way. So I will be getting the 4K of Demolition Man from Arrow Video soon. But yeah, no, I love this one. I'm not the biggest Sandra Bullock fan. She's okay in this film, but I've never been the biggest fan of her. And I know Carlos, Eastwood for Life, and my regular collaborator and co-host on the Westerns for Life podcast and the Talking Movies live stream. He absolutely hates her in this film. He has said that to me recently. He says he absolutely hates her in this film. He wants to punch her in the face on that nose. I'm like, okay, well, I don't hate her that much, but yeah, I'm not the biggest Sandra Bullock fan myself. Yeah, Sly and Kurt Russell is an excellent team up, yeah. Had this on VHS, statement only nice. Snipes is hilarious, yes. Wesley Snipes plays a fantastic film. I do wonder if Sly cut some of his scenes, because Sly was worried about Rutger Hauer upstaging him and James Woods upstaging him, but Wesley Snipes definitely does a damn fine job of upstaging Sly, so I wonder if there was a little bit of that going on for this one as well. But anyway, that's number 12. Let's go on to number 11. Wait, IMDb score first. 6.7 on IMDb for Demolition Man. Again, too low. My rating is a 7 for Demolition Man. So Demolition Man gets a 7. I might even bump that up to a 7.5. I do really enjoy it. Anyway, number 11, just outside the top 10. Oh, wait, we do have a few more comments before we do that. Wait, this one. Demolition Man is a guilty pleasure for me. It's a little silly in spots, but the scenes between Sly and Wesley Snipes are top notch. Yeah, I mean, I love everything about it. You know, he doesn't know how to use the free seashells. We still don't know how the free seashells work. I still remember getting the CD of Demolition Man by Sting. Was that song in the film? I actually don't remember. I know there's a song called Demolition Man. My mind's having a brain fart again. Yes, Rocky 5 has a lot of issues, like him blanking his son, Adrian, when he's a family man, which is not like Rocky. Music choices aren't the best, but I do like the Go For It song and Rocky losing. Everything and the street fight in the end was over the top and a little long. Over the top, you say. And when Rocky hit Duke with a body shot, but wasn't really a swing, sending him flying. Yeah, sending him flying is over the top, but a fun film. Yes. I agree. Demolition Man's prophetic. Again, I don't know how to pronounce every damn word, but it predicted the prophetic. I think that's how you. It predicted the nostalgia craze. The weak can't say anything offensive. Offensive society we live in now. Yes, it has foretold the future a little bit, hasn't it? Yeah, we still don't have those cool cars that they have in that film. Yes, Sandra Bullock does my blooming head on. Can't stand her. So she doesn't have many fans. I'm noticing, but yeah. Anyway, number 11. Again, just outside of the top 10. Number 11. IMDb score for this is a 7, so that's a solid score. I give this one myself an 8. Solid 8. Maybe even 8.5. 2008. Another big comeback film right after Rocky Balboa. At number 11, we got Rambo, also known as John Rambo, also known as just called fucking Rambo 4 already. So yeah, Rambo 4, guys. The most brutal Rambo film. This one, Stallone really wanted to show you the horrors of war, and he succeeded because there are some absolute brutal, mentally brutal moments in this film. I myself do prefer the director's cut, the extended cut that is on this Blu-ray, which does trim a bit of the brutality, but it's still pretty fucking brutal. But the theatrical one is balls to the wall, brutal. Absolutely fucking love Rambo 4. Yes, it's either this one or Rambo 2 that always fights for my second favorite Rambo film. Obviously, as you know, I know I went in a different direction, but I still like this film. So give this one a solid 8, 8.5 for sure. Leave Sandra Bullock alone. Ah. I, for one, am thankful we don't live in an old Taco Bell society because Taco Bell gives me to run something fierce. Yeah. I think my Blu-ray has the Pizza Hut version. I think it's the US that had the Taco Bell version, and then the UK and European territory we got the Pizza Hut version. So Blood Feast, this one. Yeah, Bloodfest. Yeah, Rambo, absolutely. Oh man, that extensive, bloody and gory shootout scene at the end of Rambo is freaking insane. Yes, he gets on the 50 caliber, like he just runs. He's chopping down trees with that thing and stuff, and leaving holes the size of craters and people. I love it. I love it. Rambo 4 is my favorite in the franchise. Love it. Yes, I know it's First Blood is always my favorite. Spoilers ahead, but Rambo 4 is it's so amazing. Are we done with Rambo for now? Oh, we are for now. At number 10, we are coming to another criminally underrated Stallone film once again. I've never understood why this one isn't as well liked as it is. Unlike Rhinestone. At number 10, we have another film from 1989, the same year as Tango and Cash. This one has a 6.4 on IMDb, which no, too low. I give this one a 9. I fucking love 1989's Lock Up. I do not get why this film is as underrated as it is. I absolutely don't. I love Lock Up so much. I still have my Blu-ray as well as I do now have the 4K, and I still have my DVD of it somewhere as well. I love this film. 1989, John Flynn directed this one. He would go on to direct Out for Justice, my favorite Steven Seagal film. You got a great cast in this one. You got Tom Sizemore in this one. Donald Sutherland steals the show as the villain in this one, as the warden. Drumgoole. So many great. The football scene in this one. First base. You got Sonny Landham as Chink Webber. I don't know. There's just so much stuff about this film to enjoy. Fantastic score by Bill Conti once again. It's a prison drama. I do like prison films as well. So it is a really, really great film. And if anybody hasn't seen it, please go watch it because it's so underrated. I want more people to discover this and more people to love this film, really. I genuinely don't understand why this film is as underrated as it is. I genuinely don't get it. Because ever since I first seen this, I've been in love with this film. Lock Up, one of my favorites. I love seeing the love for it, so this is awesome. Lock Up's all awesome, yes. Good to see some love for it. I like Lock Up, but it's not one I watch as often because I'm not a big fan of movies where the main characters suffer and suffer. I suffer in real life, so I prefer the more escapist kind of flicks. Okay, I can definitely get that. I can definitely get behind that. I can definitely get that for sure, yeah. But I think it's a really great drama, and again, for people that say that Stallone can't act, just look at films like Lock Up, or the Rocky films, or First Blood, or Copland. The man can act. I'm sick and tired of hearing people saying Sly can't act. He can act. He's an Oscar-nominated actor. They wouldn't nominate for an Academy Award twice if he couldn't act. Lock Up is superb. My number 3 at the moment. Yeah, like I said, it's firmly my top 10. I always love this one. Can't beat a prison film. My favorite is probably Escape from Alcatraz, which is another great film. I would actually put this one over Escape from Alcatraz myself. If I ever did a prison film ranking, I would probably put this over Escape from Alcatraz. And I do love that film a hell of a lot as well, with Clint Eastwood, yeah. But I would probably prefer this one myself. I remember the first time I watched this, the ending, because he to Professor Macabre's point, he does suffer so much through this film, and you really root for him. You really are on his side. You really want him to get the warden, even though he doesn't creative. He doesn't necessarily punch out the warden or kill the warden or whatever. But you are hoping he in some way he's going to get the warden, and he does. But then finally he gets released and he gets reunited with his girlfriend. You got that great ending scene, and spoilers, by the way, again for a film from 1989. You got that great end scene where he's walking off with the late John Amos. It says, you know what I'm gonna miss most about you? Your incredible smile. And he gives that smile. You got the great Bill Conti music playing as he's being released from prison there at the end. I broke down in tears. I was like, he went through so much, and I'm so on his side. I'm so happy for him. It was happy tears, the first time I watched this. I was like, yes. Sly really makes you root for his character in these films, doesn't he? He just has that thing, He's so likable and relatable in these films. So that's why I really, really love Lock Up, because you really are on this journey with the character. You root for the character. You want the character to make it. His character is just so likable, even though he is in prison. He is an inmate, so he's done something wrong to be in there, obviously, but you still, he's so likable. Lock Up is Boston, a hell of a lot of fun. And my second favorite, Prison Flake. My favorite is Ben Vicker. But Lock Up is a solid prison gem, yes. A gem it certainly is. Alcatraz is a great Clint prison film, yes. It would probably be in my top 10 Clint Eastwood films, for sure. Sandra Bullock is no Sharon Stone. No, she ain't. If you could pick, only pick one Rocky film that really shows his acting ability, what film would you go for? I go with Detox. It's not a Rocky film. If you could only pick, I guess one Stallone film is what he means instead of Rocky film. Detox, that film really showed he can tally act. And Lock Up, I'd put him there. The films I say, if you want proof that Stallone can act, Rocky 1, the first original Rocky, First Blood, Copland, Lock Up. What else would I throw in? A Creed. I mean, he's been nominated for Creed as well. So, even Over the Top, but trust me, we're getting there. We're getting to Over the Top. But even Over the Top, I think he's a great performance. There would be a few more, but those would be my go-to ones there, the ones I just mentioned. Those would be my go-to ones. Whenever I hear someone say Stallone can't act, I showed them the scene in Rocky Balboa where he's trying to get his license back. Yes, right there, that scene. The speech at First Blood in the end. With this bar, Saigon. This kid comes up. This kid got a shoe shine box. He said, "Shine, please, shine." I said, "No." Jake kept asking. Joey said, "Yeah." I went to get a couple of beers. The box is wired. Fucking blew his body all over the place. I was laying there, fucking screaming, a piece of look, like this. It's my friend. It's all over me. I mean, still, the way I'm doing it is fucking, I'm definitely not doing it credit, but still in that scene, man, I get chills every time I watch that scene. Well, Sharon got them out and Sandra didn't. That is very, very true. Sharon got them out quite a few times, as a matter of fact. I'm surprised that so many like Lock Up. I always thought this was one that most would love, and yes, I meant Stallone Rocky. It's in my yes. The Stallone and Rocky sort of blend together a little bit, don't they? Because, well, Rocky is pretty much Stallone. He has admitted that. Rocky is a... What's the word? Alter ego of Stallone. Sometimes I call Stallone and Rocky. Yeah, sometimes I call Rocky Stallone. Yeah. Anyway, we've entered the top 10. Obviously, let's finish this ranking, guys. Number 10 was Lock Up. Number 9, again, very underrated film. This one, again, criminally underrated as far as I'm concerned. I do not get the hate for this one. People just shit on this one all the time. But 1987's Over the Top. Arm wrestling, father-son film. This one has a 5.8 IMDb. Like, fuck you, IMDb. I give this one a solid 8, or I might even bump it up to 8.5. Yes, it's a canon film. Yes, it's cheesy. Yes, nobody asked for a arm wrestling, truck driving film where the father is arm wrestling for the custody of his son. Which actually, even though people do describe the film like that, he doesn't arm wrestle for the custody of his son, but. That aside, it is a father-son film, and Stallone, I think, does a great job playing Lincoln Hawk in this one, the dad. The kid, kid actor David Mendenhall. People say he's annoying. He's a kid actor, what do you expect? But the character goes through an arc, that kid. He starts off annoying, but he becomes more likable, at least to me anyway. So the kid did his job right, as far as I'm concerned. I love Over the Top. Always loved it. Again, was one of my early Stallone films that I saw. I love Over the Top so much with a passion. This is another one, just like Rhinestone, just like Rambo: Last Blood. I will be on a hill defending this one until I die. And same with Lockup, actually. But yeah, no, Over the Top. Again, it's only in the 80s could we have a film about arm wrestling. But you know what, guys? The arm wrestling, I think, is done very well in the film. They do a great job of making it exciting on film. Um, in reality, of course, yes, you have an arm wrestling match. Usually they're over in 2 seconds. Obviously, they stretch them out for the film. It's entertaining, and it is pretty much Rocky, but with arm wrestling. And again, you know how much I love Rocky, so it's no surprise maybe that this one is as high as it is. But I've always loved Over the Top and Lincoln Hawk, and there's a great soundtrack as well. Meet Me Halfway by Kenny Loggins, one of my favorite songs of all time. I love that song by Kenny Loggins. In This Country by Robin Zander. Winner Takes It All by Sammy Hagar. Great soundtrack, man. And you got Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but you got Robert Loggia from Scarface in this one as well. I fucking love Over the Top, man. I don't care what anyone says. I am a shark. What's that? Copland. We're getting there. I have this theory that Ash from Pokemon is Lincoln Hawk's son, the way they both turn their baseball caps before an encounter. Oh, could be onto something there. See, what I do is I take my hat and I just turn around, and it's like a switch that goes off. And when the switch goes off, I become like a machine, like a truck, like a machine. Freaking love Over the Top, man. I own you. Get in here. I like Rick Zumwalt as Bull Hurley, great villain as well. I've only ever heard of 2 arm wrestling films, and Over the Top is one of them. There's a lot more to arm wrestling than people think, and makes the film underrated. Yeah, underrated, it definitely is. So I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah. Yeah, Bob McCall loves it. Yeah, his number one favorite soundtrack. Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of my favorite soundtracks. I have it on my. I have the CD of it in my car. I do play it all the time, just like I do the Rocky IV soundtrack, just like I do the Cobra soundtrack. Stallone's soundtrack in the 80s, they always were so fantastic, weren't they? Stallone always had great soundtracks in the 80s. Yes, even Rhinestone. Not seen Over the Top, need to check it out. And also, I don't pay attention to IMDb or run potatoes, tomatoes. These ratings are pathetic. I think they're just trolls on there with ratings. Yes, I didn't bring on the tomato scores for these things because they're even more ridiculous than the IMDb ones. Anyway, that's Over the Top at 9. I love this film, but we're gonna move on in a second. Just a few more comments to catch up on. Highly underrated Stallone film is Oscar. I think it's a great film, and Stop a Mom Will Shoot isn't that bad. No, it's not. And Oscar actually did make it pretty high. And Stop a Mom Will Shoot is definitely not the worst Stallone film. Anyway, welcome Mac Chats, and welcome to the chat. I definitely agree there. Yeah. Hell yeah, Over the Top. Who thought that concept would work about an arm wrestling film, but it worked. It did work. It did work. I absolutely love the film to bits. Yeah, soundtrack is great. It's another one. It's only like, I got the run times for these films as well. Over the Top, 93 minutes. It ain't that bad. It's over in a flash, Perfect pace as well. When are we going to get the epic Rocky-like story set in the weird face slapping? Yeah, I've seen those videos on Facebook popping up, yeah, where they slap each other in the face. But yeah, Over the Top at 5.8 IMDb. Like, fuck off IMDb. Like, seriously. Honestly, I'm surprised the next one has a low rating as well. So let's move on to number 8. After this comment right here. I do have big fan of arm wrestling. Mainly Devin Lorad, Levon, Big Brian Shaw is new to the sport. Is huge fan of strongman. So must watch Over the Top. Yes, especially if you already like the sport and strongman stuff. Yes, Over the Top. And especially if you like Stallone in any capacity. Over the Top is a mandatory watch as far as I'm concerned. And again, I will die on this hill saying that. So anyway, number 8. A big comeback film for Sly, because in the early 90s, you had Rocky V, which didn't do well. Oscar didn't do well. Stop a Mambo Shoot didn't do well. Then 1993, he teamed up with Rennie Harlan for Cliffhanger. Now, this film has a fucking 6.5 on IMDb, which is ridiculous. It's 113 minutes. It's not an overly long action film. It's great pace. Rennie Harlan does a fantastic job directing this film. It's a great thriller, action film, drama, whatever genre this falls into. Definitely action. Action packed all the way through. 8 stars out of 10. 8 stars is my rating. Again, this is a Stallone must-watch. Cliffhanger. The opening scene alone is worth the price of admission. The opening scene, I still remember when I watched that for the first time as a, I think I was 8 or 9, like let's say 10 years old tops. I still remember sitting like this on the edge of my seat, like, oh, what's gonna happen? Obviously, in my back of my head, I'd seen Rambo and stuff already. I was way too young, I know. I'd seen Rambo. I knew Stallone was like the big hero guy, right? I was like, oh, surely Sly is gonna pull Robin. Like, no, it's gonna be fine. But spoilers, no, it ain't. And then you have John Lithgow as a fantastic villain. Now, John Lithgow is such a great actor. He's always such a great villain as well. Like, great. The best guest star in Dexter. I think we can all agree on that. The TV show Dexter. He's the best guest star. It's the Trinity Killer. He's fantastic. Yeah, I love John Lithgow. He's a great villain in this one. But yeah, Cliffhanger, Snowy Mountain, action. You know, rescue worker. Stallone's a rescue worker. Lots of action in snow. You guys like, you know, I like my snow movies. I love movies set in the snow. I love action movies in the snow. This one is a winner for me. Again, can't help but, you know, nothing I can do but praise it, to be honest. What do you think about Sly's voice acting in, as King Shark in Suicide Squad? I will get to that after I get a bit of water in me because my throat is getting dry. Gonna have to refill this. I do like Suicide Squad, actually, believe it or not. I do like that film. I do like him as King Shark. The only reason it's not on this list because, of course, it is a voice performance. If I had included Suicide Squad, I would also have to include the film Ants, which he also did voiceover work in. So, but no, I do like the Suicide Squad. So yeah, I do like him as King Shark. Num num. I have heard from sources that Over the Top is just as motivational as Rocky. You might be, yeah, you might be pleasantly surprised. It is. There is a great speech in there, which looks like Sly ripped it straight out of a Rocky film. Yeah. Did you? Yes, I did hear about that. Yes, Stallone was going to be in it, but he bailed, so now it's going to be Pierce Brosnan. Yes, but without Stallone, what's the point? Yes, I would have given it a chance if Stallone is in it. And don't get me wrong, I love Pierce Brosnan. As you guys know, I love James Bond. I'm a big Bond fan. I do like Brosnan as Bond, and I've seen a lot of non-007 Pierce Brosnan films like Dante's Peak and Thomas Crown Affair and stuff like that. A few other films. I like Pierce Brosnan, but I will probably give that Cliffhanger remake or reboot a pass. If Sly has no involvement in it, then it can go suck my dick, to be honest. My favorite British actor is in Cliffhanger, Craig Fairbanks. Yes, he's the, yeah, he's in there, true. Great cast in that one. Also Michael Rooker, I forgot to mention Michael Rooker, he's also in it, but yeah. Cliffhanger is a great film, yes, indeed, a great John Lithgow. Craig that guy was an English soap, EastEnders. Yeah, soap, I did get that part. Same Jeff, I like films set in the snow, cold settings in general, especially in hot weather. I can't stand hot weather, so I watch cold films that trick my brain, cool down from the heat. I thought I was alone in that, but I also can't stand summer and stuff. I love this time of year. It's like nice and cold. You just, yeah, I prefer colder weather to hot weather myself as well. Again, not too cold. Let's not get extreme, but like, you know. Shogun's Who's the Master? You'll have to clarify that one as we move on to... I'm getting better at these segues. As we move on to number 7. We're going back to Rambo. There are 2 Rambo films left. And you know what my favorite is. So obviously at number 7, we have the great action sequel, Rambo First Blood Part 2 from 1985. This one, again, probably has a 6.5 on IMDb, which, yeah, again, fuck them. George P. Cosmatos directed this one, allegedly. And I give it an 8, just like some of the previous films we just covered. I love Rambo 2. Actually, I forgot to show my copies of Cliffhanger. There you go, 4K, and I do still have the Blu-ray as well. Love Cliffhanger. Shit. Oh, this pile is almost falling down. Don't want that to happen. Obviously, now this film is the one we're discussing, Rambo First Blood Part 2. It's always between this one and Rambo 2008 for my second favorite Rambo film. Number one will always be set in stone. It's never going to change. But it's always Rambo 2 and I guess I picked this one over the 2008 Rambo for nostalgia purposes. There's so much nostalgia for Rambo 2 for me. Watching it with my dad over and over again as a kid. Me and my dad always quote this film when we watch it, or even when we don't watch it, when we see each other, and we just drop a random Rambo 2 quote, usually involving Steven Berkoff, or that one of the scenes with Steven Berkoff, like put it in his eye and stuff like that. Just random quotes somebody else would get, but Rambo fans. Yeah, there's so much nostalgia in Rambo 2. Objectively, Rambo 2008 is definitely a better film than First Blood Part 2, but you know, this is a subjective list, obviously, so I prefer Rambo 2 over 2008, but it's close. It's close. It could easily like interchange between those two for second favorite Rambo film. We mentioned Samaritan. We did mention Samaritan. Samaritan came in at number 28. It came between Grudge Match and Judge Dredd. Last Dragon? Show enough? What's this? Am I missing something? Rambo 2 classic 80s at its best, yeah. Ooh, still need to see Cliffhanger. Get on it. Get on it, yes. I've heard good things. Could not get into the Rambo sequels, actually. That's interesting. Yeah, the Rambo films are pretty much a staple for so many people around the world. It's, yeah. I'd say give them a chance. Anyway, from the same alleged director of this film, of Rambo 2, George P. Cosmatos. I mean, there are rumors that Sylvester Stallone took over the directing on Rambo 2 and also for this next film. Coming in at number 6, we have the 1986 cult classic, Cobra. Now, I've not been shy about my love for Cobra over the last few years, so I think I don't need to say anything about this one. All I will say is, again, IMDb has it wrong with their score. IMDb has a 5.8 for Cobra. Fuck you, IMDb. And my rating for Cobra is, again, an 8. And I might even do an 8.5 because it's fucking badass. I would love for Cobra to get the director's cut treatment or the extended cut treatment, because there's still a lot of footage that, you know, that should have been in there. It was supposed to be a 2-hour film. Obviously, the film we ended up with is like 90 minutes, not even. But Cobra's bad. It's, again, a fantastic soundtrack. It's just, you know, the 80s version of Dirty Harry, and I love Dirty Harry. So, again, enough said. I think everybody knows my love for Cobra. I don't think I need to delve further into it. I just fucking love it. That's all I say. I seriously need to go back to the Rambo film. I've seen Rambo 1, 2, and 3 once, but not seen Rambo 2008. Oh, I've seen Rambo 2008 about 40 times. Okay. Gotta rewatch the whole lot and the latest one, which I've not seen. Yes. Do a Rambo marathon. It always works for me. How would the world be like if they had gone with that ending where Rambo killed himself first blood? Shh. We're getting to First Blood. Well, and a few more picks. Anyway, let's show off quickly my physical copy. I still have the old Warner Brothers standard Blu-ray of Cobra. And earlier this year, I did pick up this beautiful German media book from obviously Germany, which finally gives the film a sort of special treatment because you got interviews on here and behind the scenes and like extras. So Cobra, I love this film. It's always been a high-ranking one for me. I have the soundtrack as well on CD. Just absolutely love it. I could watch it anytime. Hang on, Cliffhanger just never done it for me. Don't know why. You're not alone. You're not alone. Jason, yeah, Jason. Yeah, I was gonna say Jason Statham, but Jason from Backtrack Cinema. He also said that in his ranking that he done again a few days ago. Coburn, Cliffhanger never done it for Jason as well. So you're not alone. There's a few people, but general consensus is it's pretty damn great. So yeah, Cobra's cut to pieces, but it's pretty good. Yes, I do wish I would get the again the scenes back in there like the way they should. But even as is, it's still a kick-ass film. I still absolutely love it. The Black Merc Cliffhanger. Okay, there you go. Yes, played Shogun in the Last Dragon. Oh, okay. That just completely went over my head, but Stallone looks absolutely badass as Cobra. He definitely does. I think that's my favorite look from him. As much as I love the Rocky look with the fedora, but come on, take a good look at that poster. You got the Ray-Bans, the V-neck Henley shirt, the pearl necklace, the Cobra grip there on the pistol. Obviously, that cool machine gun with laser sight that he's holding. He's got the matchstick in the mouth. He's got jeans on that are way too tight for him, but yeah, that's a great look. It's so Cobra is awesome. Aesthetic, especially the aesthetic of Cobra is one of the best aspects. With you being a huge Stallone fan, did you have to go through the films and think which to pick, or did you automatically know your ranking with having watched them so many times? Again, the top 10 or so I pretty much knew. Top 20, I would say even. I think once we got beyond top 20, that's where I had to be like, okay, I do like that one more than this one more than this one. So it was a process of elimination, really. Cobra's now my number 2. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I love Cobra. IMDb's ratings are so ridiculous that I want to slap my dick on IMDb, my arse, yeah. Blimey, the extras on that Cobra edition you have packed with extra goodness. Is there commentary on it? I love a good commentary. There is. Actually, that was one of the few things that was on the original Blu-ray. There was a commentary by George P. Cosmatos, the director, and that's also carried over into this Blu-ray. But new to this one, you have an interview with Brian Thompson, interview with Marco Rodriguez, who plays the supermarket killer in the beginning of the film, interview with Andy Robinson, interview with Lee Garlington, who plays the evil cop woman in the film, interview with Aldo Fleur, interview with, audio commentary with George Cosmatos, and some archival stuff, and deleted scenes from the TV version of the film. So there are some deleted scenes out there. So yeah, anyway. Entering the top 5 now, aren't we? We are entering the top 5, and it's a great time to just quickly go for a bathroom break because I really got to go for a pee. So I'm going to leave you with a little clip or something. I don't know, just to keep you entertained while I'm gone for a few seconds. Shall I? Yeah, I will play this in full at the end of the stream, but let's play a few seconds as I go quickly run to the bathroom. So that will be continued, obviously, at the end. I did a little clip montage of Stallone's film, set to a cool soundtrack there. But let's carry on. Number 5. We're in the top 5 now. We're getting down to it. Number 5 is a film from 1997, the year I was born, I should add. It has a 7 on IMDb, which is a good score, even though I Definitely rate this one higher. And it has an all-star cast. Directed by James Mangold. It's a crime drama thriller. Let's just go out and say it. It's 1997's Copland, with co-starring Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, and the late great Ray Liotta. Plus a bunch of other people. Frank Vincent is in there. Robert Patrick, Edie Falco from The Sopranos. There's a lot of Soprano actors in there, actually. Yeah, Copland. Love this one. This one is another Stallone film that has a different cut. This one has a director's cut, as you can see there. And I do prefer the director's cut over the theatrical once again. I don't know. I love films when they're longer, when they're more to the director's vision. The theatrical one is fantastic as well, don't get me wrong. But Copland, love it. Absolutely love it. Has a 7 IMDb, like I said, not bad. But I give Copland a 9.5. It's this close to being a 10. The next few films in the top 5 are all 10 stars out of 10, so spoilers. But yeah, Copland, what can I say? This is the one, again, I point to this one. If you guys, if somebody says Stallone can't act, I point to this film as well as Rocky and First Blood, and like I said, the other films I mentioned earlier. Yeah, Copland is awesome. He plays a sheriff. He's out of shape. He actually gained weight for the film. He got a belly and stuff instead of like the muscular physique he usually has. He actually acted his ass off for it, and it's a fantastic film. The scene with Annabella Sciorra, I think that's how you pronounce the woman's name in the film. It's sort of love interest in the film. The scene where she says, why is it you never got married, Freddie? And he says, all the best girls are taken. That's, I think, one of Sly's best deliveries in his entire career. I just love how he plays that scene and how he delivers that line. It's really amazing. Anyway, let's go on to number 4, as I do read these comments, and then we'll go to number 4. But Stallone on the Cobra poster looks like a more badass version of the Black Rain poster with the great Michael Douglas. Yes, the Black Rain poster did rip this off a bit. I think Black Rain came after this one, but yeah, it is similar. Thanks, Jeff. I'll have to upgrade my Cobra DVD to Blu-ray and to dive into those extras. All about the film first, but I love the extras and learn more information. Yes, especially with these films that I love so much, the Stallone films, I love the extras, going through them, just finding out more about them. I just soak that stuff up like a sponge, really. Stallone passed on another film to do Copland. I had high hopes to get noticed as a serious dramatic actor. It took a long time to get that recognition. Well, he was nominated for his, breakout role in Rocky, so he already got the recognition by being nominated for an Oscar. But I do know what you mean. Yes, so Sly did do this film because he wanted to get back to more dramatic stuff. So, yeah, you're definitely right there, for sure. Anyway, number 4. This film, like I said, number 4, 3, 2, and 1. These are perfect movies to me. They get 10 stars out of 10. Copland is close to perfection. As a matter of fact, I did originally have it as a 10, but I was like, just with the other ones, give this one 9.5 and make the other ones 10 out of 10. Otherwise, it would be too many 10s. But number 4 is 1979, perfect sequel to, in my opinion, one of the greatest films ever made. 1979's Rocky 2 at number 4. Yes, this is my 3rd favorite Rocky. There's one more I prefer, and then obviously you guys know what number my favorite Rocky is. But Rocky 2, again, perfect sequel. I talked about this in the watch party. It just carries on from the first Rocky so beautifully. The struggle, is there again with Adrian, and him being hurt in the eye, and obviously the doctors say he shouldn't fight, and Adrian doesn't want him to fight. Mickey even says, you shouldn't fight anymore, kid. Obviously, he's struggling to do anything but boxing. He's struggling, working blue-collar jobs in the meat factory and stuff. Now, Apollo Creed still wants to settle the score. Still, Creed is getting hate mail, so he wants to prove to the world that Rocky was just a fluke the first time. Obviously, so many great drama bits and stuff, and Adrian in the coma, Adrian saying win, so many great moments, great training montage, great fight scene. Rocky 2 is awesome. Go watch my watch party of it if you haven't already. Pretty much elaborate even further in that watch party, but Rocky 2 is awesome. So that's Rocky 2 at number 4. Love Ray Liotta. He's my second favorite actor of all time, with Nick Nolte being my first. Copland also shows Stallone's acting ability. Yes, Copland certainly does. As well as Rocky 2 and the other three films I'm going to mention. I love Rocky 2, but damn, the way he flat out wasted his evening after fighting Apollo was insane. He blew down a jacket in the car. Hey, that tiger jacket is nice. I have that jacket. And I was a, Trans Am. I was smoking a bandit's car. Come on. It's a cool car. And he also got Paulie a watch. He got a watch for Adrian. I think he bought himself a watch. So he did more than just a jacket in the car. But I do know what you mean. I see where you're going. Anyway, number 3. We're staying with Rocky, and it's my second favorite Rocky film. 2006, Rocky Balboa. Should mention Rocky 2 has a 7.3 in IMDb, which isn't bad, but still I give it a 10. Rocky Balboa has a 7.1 on IMDb, which again, I give it a 10. So, yeah, Rocky Balboa 2006. I don't know. Nothing really left to say on Balboa that I didn't say yesterday. So, for me, it's the second favorite Rocky film. Almost on the level of the first one. But yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. Again, watch my watch party for further reference, I would say. That wind scene with Adrian gives me goosebumps, and then the music kicks in. Yes, perfection. Perfection, that bit. Yeah. Absolutely. Number 2. Let's do these 2 more, then I can go for another smoke break, and obviously we can then wrap the stream. Just in time, I think, for Gareth's live stream. I think Gareth videotapes his live in a bit. Number 2. We've talked about Rambo. We've talked about Rocky. There's only 2 more films left. I think you guys know the order, but anyway, we'll go back to this character now. At my number 2, we have 1982's epic action drama, directed by Ted Kotcheff. It is, of course, First Blood, the very first Rambo film, and my absolute favorite, my second favorite Stallone film will always be Rocky, and then First Blood. First Blood is amazing. Again, we talked about it earlier, that scene at the end where he breaks down and shoot, careful your fucking legs and stuff like that. Nothing is over. Can't beat First Blood. Jerry Goldsmith, I should have mentioned Jerry Goldsmith for Rambo 2 and 3 as well. Jerry Goldsmith for the first 3 Rambo films delivers fantastic scores. This one in particular. It's a Long Road at the end. That's the song. It's a Long Road. Great song for the end credits. Great bad guy when Sheriff Teasel. Although is he a bad guy? But yeah, he's definitely more villain type character. Even though he's on the side of the law. Here's my Blu-ray of it. Yeah, First Blood, man. What can I say about First Blood that hasn't been said already? It's a classic. It's an all-time classic. It's a must-watch for any fans of Stallone. If you're just getting into Stallone, watch Rocky, obviously, and watch First Blood. Those are the 2 go-to Stallone films. They have to be. They have to be. Yeah, Rocky Balboa. I get emotional with all the Rocky films, but especially Balboa. Yeah, especially that one. Especially that one. As I've gotten older and older, Balboa hits different, especially that scene when he's talking to his son in the speech. Yes, to always get it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Yeah, I have that speech burned into my brain. That's memorized forever for me. Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 is pretty much one film, similar to Halloween and Halloween 2. Yes, that is what I have said about Rocky 1 and 2 when I did the watch party. It's pretty much, again, like Halloween 1 and 2. Blends perfectly together if you watch them back to back. Appreciate the first 2 Rocky films more now and think they are now my favorites. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I might rank 4 and 3 as my least favorite now, but as a kid, Jeff would have said Rocky 4 was his favorite. So it's when you're a kid, you like the entertaining ones, but when you go older, you're identifying more with the drama and stuff. And that's why it's Rocky, 1, 2, 5, and Balboa that are the top ones for me. But yeah. No, definitely Mr. T. I also heard about Drago, yeah. You are correct, but he definitely had a cameo planned for Mr. T. I think the Dolph Lundgren one, the Drago was just a concept that he had. I think he really would have gone with that, but who knows? Who knows? First Blood is definitely a Christmas film, and that's exactly why I'm probably gonna watch it again sometime this week. I never get tired of First Blood. I never get tired of Rocky. Never get tired of First Blood. Never get tired of Cobra. Never get tired of Over the Top. Anything that we mentioned here in this top 20, to be honest. Yeah, First Blood is a 80s classic. So it leaves only one film left, and if you haven't guessed it, then what the fuck have you been doing? Have you been living under a rock? Pun intended, because number one, of course, it is 1976. John Avildsen directed, the film that made Stallone a household name. It is, of course, the original Rocky. There we go. Got that on 4K on Steelbook. Got my Rocky Blu-ray collection. Got my Rocky 4K collection. I got so much Rocky. So I'm wearing Rocky shirts. I got Rocky clothes. I got everything Rocky related under the sun. Pretty much anything. If there's Rocky on it, there's chances I'm going to look into them and see about buying it. If there's a product that has the name Rocky on it, it's a winner for me. So, again, nothing left to say. It is also the highest rated Stallone film and on IMDb. It is the highest rated Stallone film. It's 8.1 on IMDb. Again, I give it a 10, just like I do First Blood, just like I do Rocky 2, just like I do Balboa. Runtime 120 minutes, 1976. Of course, it's a sports drama, but it's more a drama than a sports film because there's only like 10 minutes of boxing in the whole film. It's all about drama. It's all about the love story, and it's a great love story. Of course, we all know the story. We all know the actors. We all know the characters. You got Adrian, Paulie, Mickey, Apollo Creed, Burgess Meredith, as Mickey. Fantastic. Same as Carl Weathers as Apollo. Just perfect casting for every role there. Talia Shire, Burt Young, they're all so fantastic. But yeah, Rocky will always be my number one Sylvester Stallone film. And First Blood will always be my number two. Number one, number two, they're set in stone. They will never, ever change. They will never change. But yeah. If you could only pick one Stallone film to take on an island, would you pick Rocky 1 as your favorite, or would you pick one that's more action? I would take Rocky in a heartbeat. Rocky, always Rocky. There are no substitutes for Rocky. It's always gonna be Rocky. I mean, listen. I don't wear these shirts just for the streams. I wear this in my real day-to-day life in this hat. That's how much I love this character in the movie. So it's my favorite movie character. It is, again, Rocky and the Bond films. They laid the foundation for what you see today. If it wasn't for those films, those films laid the groundwork for my love of movies and cinema. It was Scarface, and as I was an 11-year-old, it was Scarface that really made me the true movie fan, but the foundation was laid by Rocky and the Bond films. So, yeah, I would always go Rocky. Absolutely, 100%. Every day of the week. On Stallone films, if there were other films I could take, obviously Scarface would be one I'd take to an island. Terminator 2 would be one I would take. If I take Rocky with me, I would try to still sneak First Blood with me as well as a companion piece. I would try to sneak First Blood with me as well, but there would definitely, Rocky would be my go-to one. Shout out to Gareth for giving me the Rambo films on VHS, by the way. As you can see, they sit nicely next to my Rambo figure right here, and there's my Rocky figure. I love Rocky. Not that it's obvious, but let's go for our smoke and wrap this up. This is not as long as the Charles Bronson one, so we're doing okay. We did okay. If you were living under a Rocky. Tango and Cash is a hell of a lot of fun. Absolutely. In an old interview, Stallone was asked what happened to his Rocky rivals, and he said Clubber Lang became a preacher or commentator. Yes, he had the the cameo he had planned for Mr. T was as the commentator in Rocky Balboa. Like we got the surprise cameo from Mike Tyson and Balboa at the end during the fight. Instead of like Mike Tyson, I think that was a happy accident that Mike Tyson was there for a cameo. Yeah, originally had Mr. T, Clubber Lang, planned to be there to fight as a guest commentator, sort of in a similar vein to Apollo Creed and Rocky 3. And he was going to be a born-again Christian, and he was going to be a changed man, obviously different from the way he was in Rocky 3. He definitely would not say, hey woman, and stuff like that anymore, but yeah. That was the original plan for Clubber Lang. Drago, he said, kill himself in shame in Russia. Yeah, that was obviously before Creed too, so yeah. Do you personally see any film franchise close to the Rocky franchise? If so, what would you put close to the Rocky franchise? Rocky's all solid, but the Terminator, there's a few. Yeah, Terminator would definitely not be one because there's only 1 and 2 that I like, and the rest are like, forget it. I mean, obviously, my 2 favorite franchises are the Rocky and the Bond films. And even for me, because I love both those franchises so much, I can't choose between Rocky and Bond. Rocky is my favorite character, but I still love the character of James Bond as well. Character-wise, Rocky takes it because Rocky is my favorite character, but I don't know, man. It's close between the Bond films and the Rocky films for me for all-time favorite franchise, if that makes sense. Because yeah, like I said, those were the films that made me a film fan. Really, the Bond films and the Rocky films. They were the first few films I remember seeing as a kid. Grind don't pay, you know that, Gloria. Grind don't pay. Yeah, hit me with any Rocky quote, I'm gonna recognize it instantly. Inspiration incarnate. Yes, that's Rocky. I have seen the original Scarface. Yes, from 1932. Paul Muni. Howard Hawks film. I do have that on DVD. Actually, I do need to upgrade that to a Blu-ray. But actually, yeah, the DVD is actually fine enough. But yeah, I do have that film. A favorite non-Rocky speech. I love the speech Apollo gives in Rocky 3. There is no tomorrow. That's not a speech. No, maybe you mean the one where he's saying like, you had the eye, the tiger, and the edge, and now you got to get it back, Rock. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean? I had the tiger, man. I think maybe you mean that speech. Hey, Ramon is here, the Dutch film of. I own the first 3 Rambo flicks on original Dutch ex-rental job. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned them on VHS before. The only Stallone film I own personally on VHS is The Specialist, actually. And Tango and Cash. I do have that on VHS. I have Tango and Cash on VHS as well. But yeah. That's awesome. Thanks, by the way, for joining, Ramon. Joining you for smoke. Thanks. Gotta get our nicotine in, right? How many Rocky t-shirts do you have? Too much. I'm slowly building up t-shirts and films I love to physically wear. Again, these are all slides. I just got 3 or 4 t-shirts in yesterday from the Stallone shop that I ordered with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I'd say at this point probably between 10 and 20 Rocky t-shirts, and then a few Rambo shirts as well. And obviously I also got the other Rocky clothing items like the tiger jacket, the Italian Stallion robe. Yeah, just a whole variety of Rocky related clothing articles, let's put it that way. And all of the Sly Stallone shop. So Russian government, yes, if Rocky 4 was in reality, that probably would have happened. Yeah. There we go. Ramon's sharing his top 3. Top 3 Sly films for Ramon is Rambo 2, Copland, and Demolition Man. Yes, all solid films. Except for Demolition Man, they were all in my top 10. So yeah, definitely can't go wrong there. Absolutely. If I could only pick one Stallone film right now, I'd pick Rocky 3. I'll admit I've not seen a lot of Stallone films, seen quite a few, but not as many as you. That's because I'm a maniac. I don't have a life. That's because you have a life, my friend. But I'll dive more into his filmography. I do like Rocky. I'm never a huge fan. That's okay. I mean, I guess you gotta have non-fans of Rocky as well. I mean, it wouldn't be it would be a boring world if everybody was a huge Rocky fan. So I get it. There needs to be a bit diversity between people. So that's cool. That's cool. For me, obviously, the character means almost more than life to me. But that's okay. Rocky and 2 and Balboa had scenes filmed in quite a few places. I've been briefly to in Philly. The original Rocky had a scene shot not too far from where my mom lived. Yes, a lot of cool Philly locations and all the Rocky films. If there was to be a Rocky 7, no Rocky 7. How would you personally like the film to go? What direction? Any ideas? No, just leave it. Rocky Balboa was the perfect ending. So, and Creed 2, even for the Rocky character, was a good ending. So for me, Rocky should not come back. Instead of like a new film, I know Stallone had that idea of doing a Rocky prequel series. I would rather like to see that, because we've seen Rocky, like, what is he in Rocky 130? So it says he's almost 30 or 30 years old in the first Rocky. We've seen him since 30, obviously up until age, whatever age he is in Creed, like in his early 70s. We've seen Rocky for the majority of his mature life. A prequel, seeing Rocky in his teenage years, with Stallone attached to it, and Stallone maybe doing a voiceover or something, or being attached as a writer. That's what I want to see, a Rocky prequel series, like a 10-part miniseries on Amazon, stuff like that. That's something I would like to see. I know Stallone wants to do it. He has written treatments for a Rocky prequel series. So that is something I want to see rather than a Rocky 7 or another Creed film within it. So that's the Carl Weathers bit. Carl Weathers, rest in peace, man. He's a legend. That's why I wore this t-shirt in honor of him as well. Obviously, this is Rocky versus Apollo there in the first fight. Yeah, had to get this t-shirt because he's on there. I'm just gonna skip comments of people talking among themselves. Do you like all the Bond films, my friend? I've only seen Dr. No, the original from 62 or 64. At 62, my friend. I'm also a really big Bond nerd, so I do know my Bond stuff. No, it's 1962 was the first one. And yes, I have seen every single one, and just like the Rocky films, I've watched them more times than I care to admit, more times than probably is healthy for a human being. So yeah, I've seen them all. How do you feel the OG Scarface stacks up against the remake? Well, the 1983 Scarface is my favorite film of all time. So, not much. I recognize that it's there. It's obviously a different beast. Obviously, 1930s versus 80s. It's a whole different time space. Different era. Paul Muni is great in the film. It's a great directed film for the time. It is a good solid. I'll probably give the original Scarface like a 7.5, 8 maybe. But the originals, the 1983 Scarface with Pacino, my favorite film of all time. Give it 10 out of 10. Obviously, that's a film that really made me a film fan. That really made me go and have the collection that I have today. I think I read that, didn't I? Where my mom lived. Oh, yeah, I think I did read it correctly. So, yeah. No worries there, Steve. Yes, indeed. Thing I like about Apollo as well, his facial expression. You can feel his passion through his face. There is no tomorrow. You feel his passion, very realistic. Yes, Carl Weathers was a great actor. So underrated for sure. He should have had a bigger career as an action star. Action Jackson should have had a sequel. That's a great action film. Obviously, he was great in Predator as well, but he should have been in Expendables 1 or 2. Like, instead of Terry Crews, get Carl Weathers in there. That's what Sly should have done. Oh yeah. We do know that. Steve had to recover from gallbladder surgery. Yes. Glad to hear you have recovered. Good there. So that's always good to hear. Have you ever made a Rocky T-shirt? Like, gone to a shop with a blank T-shirt and choose a picture to have put on a T-shirt? I did one for Bruce Lee. I have not printed a shirt like that. My 1-1 Bronson shirt, that is the original design that I put together. Other than that, I never printed a shirt myself. Not Rocky related. I always buy original stuff when it comes to that. So, Nighthawks was none of my top 10. Yeah, you know what? We might as well have a quick recap for people joining later. we might as well have a quick recap of all the films. We're just going to blaze through them, so pay attention, I guess. Number 50, we had 50 films to rank. Number 50, we had The Expendables 4. I give it a 1 only because I can't give it a 0 on IMDb. Number 49 was Escape Plan 2. Number 48 was Backtrace. Wait a minute, I could do this better with pulling up the pictures. There we go. Number 50 was Expendables 4. Then we had Escape Plan 2 at 49. Backtrace at 48. Driven at 47. Reach Me at 46. Shade at number 45. Stop or Mom Will Shoot at 44. Avenging Angelo at 43. Capone at 42. The Lords of Flatbush at 41. Death Race 2000 at 40. Expendables 3 at 39. Bullet to the Head at 38. Detox at 37. Assassins at 36. Escape to Victory at 35. Escape Plan at 34. Paradise Alley 33. 32 Get Carter. 31 The Specialist. Oscar at number 30. Grudge Match at 29. Samaritan at 28. Judge Dredd at 27. Daylight at 26. Controversially, Rhinestone at 25, although I do have Professor Macabre in my corner on that one. Fist at 24. Here it is, Ramon Nighthawks at 23. Expendables 1 at 22. Rambo 3 at 21. Creed 2 at 20. Expendables 2 at 19. Rambo Last Blood at 18. Rocky 4 at 17. Creed at 16. Rocky 3 at 15. Rocky 5 at 14. Tango and Cash at lucky number 13. Demolition Man at 12. Rambo 4 at 11. Lock Up at 10. Over the Top at 9. Cliffhanger at 8. Rambo First Blood Part 2 at number 7. Cobra at number 6. Copland at number 5. Rocky 2 at number 4. Rocky Balboa at number 3. First Blood at number 2. And of course, no surprise to anyone that knows me, Rocky at number 1. So there you go, that's a quick recap. But yeah, I do love Nighthawks, just to get back to that one. Similarly, I watch a lot of films, but mainly horror, silent films, black and white films, and old school, ton of course. But I need to dive into more Stallone. Yeah, that's what I was brought up on. Like my roots lay in like the Bond films, the Rocky films, Rambo. Then naturally went to all the other Stallone films. Then I got into Arnold as well with the Terminators and stuff, and Commando. And then I got into people like Bruce Willis and obviously Bronson and Eastwood and people like that. So I'm an action guy first and foremost, obviously, and like the old school action tough guy actors. But yeah, that's where my roots lay in my DNA. My DNA was burned with Rocky and Bond pretty much, and then yeah. Not a fan of prequels. There's no prequels I like because it's like going back. But having said that, I wouldn't mind a prequel series of Rocky. Like I said, especially if Sly is involved. If Sly isn't involved, if it's just Amazon being greedy and doing it on their own without involvement from Sly, I would probably not get my hopes up for it. I probably wouldn't be as excited for it. But if Sly is involved, I will definitely check it out. I must watch Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. It's a Christmas tradition. Oh, I got them picked out from my the few things I have to watch this week. You know, we are getting near Christmas, so we have to do some Christmas watches. They are my go-to Christmas films as well, though. Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Home Alone, films like that. I thought it was 63 or 64, but you say, yeah, 62 was the first one. Well, yeah, when it comes to Bond, I do know my shit. Yeah. I try to anyway. But no, actually, the first few films in the Bond series, they did come out every year. So Dr. No was 62, From Russia with Love was 63, Goldfinger was 64, Thunderball was 65. And from then on, you had like 2 years between films because you had You Only Live Twice, which was 67. My favorite, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, 69. And you had a few gaps, some longer gaps in the Bond series. Obviously, the longest gap we had was License to Kill, although the gap between Spectre and No Time to Die, which is the recent one, that came close to that gap as well. So, but usually they try to do 2 years between films. But during the Daniel Craig era, things have changed in that regard massively. So, Bond confused me because they're all called James Bond. It's like different actors. Very, very simple. The first 20 films, from Dr. No to Die Another Day, it's the same character. It's the same James Bond. The James Bond in Die Another Day is the same Bond that we see in Dr. No, even though he's gone through recasting. But that's one timeline. It's the same character. Daniel Craig, different Bond, different era. It's a reboot. Very simple remedy. It's just the same character, just recast it. Wonder why Weathers didn't do more action, because he seemed to go towards comedy slayers, which is a shame because Action Jackson deserves a sequel. It absolutely does. I love Action Jackson. The 3 or 4 films that really made me a movie fan at 6 years old, about 1984-85, are Superman 1 and 2. I love those two, yeah. Conan the Barbarian, Ghostbusters, all great films, all fantastic. Conan the Barbarian is one of my favorite films as well, especially with Arnold. I mean, I absolutely love Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, who can go wrong with Ghostbusters or Superman? The original Richard Donner Superman films, yeah. Christopher Reeve. Pop quiz hotshots and an all-out battle royale between Rocky Rambo, John Spartan, Cobra, and Barney Ross. Who's the last Stallone standing? I've got to give it to Rambo because, yeah, Rambo is the ultimate badass Green Beret. He has the explosive arrows. He has, the knives. He has. I would say Rambo. As much as I love Rocky, but in that brawl, I mean, obviously Rocky just knows how to throw punches. Rocky doesn't have experience with guns and stuff, so I would give it to Rambo. Although Cobra would probably come close, and Barney Ross as well. John Spartan, yeah, I give him a fair chance as well, but I think Rambo takes it there. Have you seen everything Stallone has done, or most? Well, most. Definitely not all. There's still a few films here and there I need to see. Some I don't want to see, but like his very first film, as of course you famously might know, his first film was a skin flick, or a porn film, whatever you want to call it. It had a big, let's say it was an X-rated film. It had an X in front of it. His first film was a porn film. You do see Stallone's junk in it, and that's one thing I don't want to see, so I will never watch that. So other than that, there's a few films he had cameos in. I'm not too bothered with films where he does cameos, stuff like that. And it's just Stallone as a main star. Let's say from Rocky onwards, I pretty much do have all of his films, again with one or two exceptions. But let's say 90% of his filmography I pretty much have, so it's not too bad. Anyway, Timothy Dalton will always be my favorite, and that won't change. He's such a badass, terrific, and the best actor to play Bond, if you know what I mean. Closest to the books, but yeah, Roger Moore. I'm always a Roger Moore guy. Although Sean Connery is great as well. Obviously, I love Sean. And I even have a soft spot for... I love them all. I even have a soft spot for Lazenby, and I do love Pierce Brosnan. Not the biggest Daniel Craig fan, though, especially with that last one. That's all I'll say on that. It's not a Bond stream after all. They say never meet your hero, so I can understand not wanting to see little Sly on your TV. Yeah, I always say, a few things I don't want to see in life. One of them is Sly's Italian sausage. I can do without seeing. So, anyway, let's wrap up on this. This was the big, massive, top 50 Stallone film ranking. Again, you guys had to recap. I think it's a solid top 50. Again, not everybody agrees on movies like Rhinestone and stuff, but again, I do have Professor Macabre on my corner for that one. Yeah, a lot of people have their fantastic, great favorite. I saw a lot of love for Cobra, saw a lot of love for Over the Top and stuff, which are films that are near and dear to me, so that's always great to see. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed, and I think I will see a few of you on on Gareth's Friday the 13th Part 2 stream in about 15 minutes. I just got the notification for it. So I'll probably see some of you there. Thank you all so much for watching. I will leave you a little compilation of Sly's films that I put together. Obviously, I showed a bit of it earlier during the break. But anyway, that's it for now. Keep punching. And we'll see you all soon. I think maybe next week, just to wrap up on the Rocky journey we've been going on. We probably will do a watch party of Creed 1 and 2 somewhere next week. So stay tuned for that. Of course, watch this channel for an official announcement if it happens. So thank you all so much for watching, and adios. We'll see you all later. So enjoy the montage, and we are out of here, baby.